Staring in the void.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Guten Abend and good evening.
That's what you get for watching German football in the break. You start speaking German.
I know, right? Yeah, just start spieling out. It's almost like Germany are about to play. This is Toby, I'm Leading Man Smith, and of course, this is the GLL Nations Royale. You know that because you're already on the Twitch channel watching it. So, I mean, it's kind of like a null and void start. I mean, it's there. It's a sign. Yeah, you know where you are. But this is the upper bracket finals, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the schedule and see how it's all going to be rolling out tonight. If you joined us earlier on, well, let me tell you, you would have caught the action.
Yeah.
And more importantly, the demolition of Finland, absolutely destroyed by the Czech Republic. 4-0. Fantastic start from them, no doubt about it. Tournament's been playing out strongly for them overall as well. They did take them down 4-0, and more importantly, they took down Denmark, they took down Norway. They've taken down everyone that's come against them, apart from Russia, who they lost to. And they said, or more importantly, Spike said, he reckons Russia are going to take this one pretty easily. He's expected to be facing Germany, and that will be tomorrow. But of course... Yeah. Well, we'll see how this one plays out. There's a lot of pros in both of these teams.
There's. I mean, the fact that both Russia and Germany has come this far without losing a single game. They have lost maps, both of them, but neither of them losing a single game to make it all the way to where they are now. Both those have gone up against very, very difficult.
And remember, Russia are the defending champions. They won it at the Grand Slam tournament when we had the Nations Royale there. Was a rather one-sided match against the US. In fairness, the time kind of didn't favor the US team. But as you can see, we're going to start now on Erangel, the current version. Then on to Vikendi, then Miramar and Sanok, and then Erangel Classic, then Vikendi, and then Erangel again if we require it. So different mix of maps. I guess that's based on the team selecting it. They get the veto and see who's going with what. So Russia coming into this one, I would say, as the favorites, they have a stacked roster. I'm looking at the lobby right now, and oh my god, it is PELC players all the way through. It is incredible. Germany themselves also have a pretty stacked roster as well, so it's not too surprising to see them both here in the upper bracket finals.
Yeah, I'm going to be very excited to see. Also to hear what Braxco has to say in terms of them coming through a 0-2 to winning 3-2 against Greece, another high-end team, and then now going against Russia.
Well, it just so happens that Braxco, I believe, is on the line for us. So, guten Abend, Braxco.
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend. And I believe it's Fröhlich Weihnacht. There we go.
Fröhliche Weihnachten.
Fröhliche Weihnachten. There we go. Weihnachten. Damn it. Got it wrong. I learned that one at the weekend. That's how Merry Christmas is what it is. Yeah. To everyone. Obviously, Christmas coming up. So, I got to be honest, 30-second at PGC to start with. That's your name in the lobby right now. How are you feeling coming into this one against Russia?
We are feeling pretty good. Like, the games we played before against Finland and stuff went pretty well. So I'm motivated and we can start easy.
But we just saw Finland get demolished. Do you not feel like maybe false confidence?
Nah. Maybe they were just unlucky today.
They were unlucky. Positions.
I think one of the main things we saw earlier today was Finland giving up too much space, and we heard the Spike talk about them Russia always being there immediately to take that space. So are you guys gonna play Braxco more maybe aggressive than you maybe have done before? Because I don't remember you guys playing very aggressive when you played against Greece.
We like the games before we played for map control. Like that worked pretty well against Finland as well. Like they had no control at all. So we're just waiting like the third or fourth circle, and then we just try to cut them out. So I mean, like in Nations Royale, it seems like it's like already depends on how you drop. Like, you want to drop and get as much map control already as possible for the first circle. So that's probably going to be the tactic here.
Okay. How do you find it works internally? Obviously, you know, you've played PEL all year long in squad system. How have you had to make this transition into being a general for Germany? Like, it's a totally different playstyle. So you're talking about, can we take control of half of the map as opposed to that compound?
Yeah, like if you start in circle 1 or 2, you already try to get, like, as I said, like half of the map. Like if you check the plane, you already know like where they're coming from, and you just try to like start cutting them out step by step. And once the circle is like getting smaller, you can just kill them in the edge. So, I mean, we have really good communication. I think we have a really good setup. I think we can make it, yeah. Even they might be slightly better in the, like, individually skill.
I asked Spike the same thing, and I want to hear from you, Brax. Do you guys have any maps in particular that you feel you have a better chance? Like, what is the map that you know you have to win on today in order to make it to the finals?
I actually picked Vikendi twice.
Oh, okay.
Because
Same as Spike.
because I think, like, they are probably not that much experienced on this map as well. So we just take that advantage on that.
So you pick for their weakness rather than your own strength?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
That's exactly the same as what Spike did.
Yeah, makes sense.
For Czech Republic.
I mean, it worked.
It's exactly the same, yeah. Because he said, obviously, you know, we're talking about how many PEL and PEL contender players are in the Russian team. And knowing Russian players, they don't adapt well to new maps to begin with. It makes sense to go for Vikendi first.
Yeah, and the Vikendi games we played before went well, so hopefully it works today.
So Braxco, what is for Germany? What is the winning? Like, what's the sauce you add in the food to what is the winning move? What is it? That one thing.
What is the Wurst?
What is the Wurst that's gonna make Germany beat Russia? Is it one thing in particular?
Yeah, it's like good communication. To like, we need to like get an advantage on players. Like, we need to find like a 8-man squad or something and try to cut them out and like get player advantage.
Are you gonna unleash the beast? That is Chris.
Yeah, or we just send Chris like 1v8, it's fine maybe. If he has a good day, it's fine.
Well, what are your predictions and scores just before we go?
We're gonna 4-0 them.
Oh, I like that.
All right, we'll see how that confidence
Demon
plays
is
out.
too confident, like I
I got a feeling that Russia are definitely favourites coming into this one. Look, they are the defending champions. Brexco, best of luck to you. I hope to be hearing from you later on in the winners interview. We will find out.
Sure.
Okay, so let's get the guys in the lobby. They're all set up. Toby, where do you see this one going? Obviously, we're talking about Russia. I mean, I gotta be honest. I'm looking at the lobby, and all I see is names I recognize throughout every single 32-player roster of Russia.
With that said, Finland was stacked to the teeth
compared
to Croatia, to Czech
That's
Republic.
true. And they just had the teamwork.
Who do we see go down? Vasco, Page, all these players. If you find them in a 4v1 individual, that's what Braxco said. If we can find those 8-man squads in the corners and pin them out, like take those fights as individual fights, take 4 individual, 20 versus 8 fights here, and here. That's going to be their key to the victory. And if they can manage to do that against Russia, I'm not going to say that I think they're going to win it easily, but I think it could be a 4-3 to either one team. I think it's going to be close.
I love the thinking that when we had the interview with Spike of how you could tell how he was thinking of how to command the game, because he was like, well, if they've got 1-8 there, we'll send 2 8s and overnumber, and that's it. He was talking about 2 squads of 8, overwhelm them. Yeah. 16 players versus 8. I don't care who you are. You ain't going to beat those odds. Like, you might have a player that will take down 2, maybe 3, but you're not going to have 8 players that will take down 1v2s. All of them. It's not going to happen. No. So you're just going to get overwhelmed, and that was what was happening. Overwhelm them, revive your knocks, get them cleaned. Easy numbers, and it's just doing it by the numbers, and that's how it worked for the Czech Republic. That's how they overcame Finland in that fashion, despite the fact you had like that squad with, say, Rostamar, Loss HD, Misa, all these top players that have been playing in the PEL and MPL, simply overwhelmed. Just bomb rush them, get in there. We are going to be starting on Erangel 2.0. Where do you see this one going? Let's go straight down to this map. It's going to be a pretty much central plane, so we can go 50-50 on this one. Where are we going?
I kind of wanted to go military just because, first of all, it's a rare occurrence, and also it's a... We'll discuss in just a moment. Let's take a look at the teams here first and all the players.
They're pretty stacked, both the rosters,
That's
honestly.
What I'm saying, yeah.
I mean, you've got all the G2 boys in, you've got, obviously, Udir used to be former G2, Janssen, etc. Felix in there. There's so many names throughout the German team, obviously ITAX guys and everything. And don't forget, most of these guys know each other from the likes of ESL Meisterschaft, which is the German championship that have been going on for a good few years. For Russia, just look at the roster.
I don't think there's a player that isn't either, or used to be, in either Contenders or PEL.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it's only PEL or Contenders players.
Yeah, I just see... I just see every single name I recognize. I'm trying to think if there's anyone I don't
There's
know.
a couple, I can tell now. There's a couple that I know, but I also know they haven't played either of those.
Grishka Power I don't recognize.
But then they've been in... Grishka Power should be a team.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to think. And it may also be named that they've kind of...
Grishka's been up there quite a few times.
TikTok Crazy, I don't recognize.
One last thing to talk with Russia, one of their Achilles heels is that they commit hard to things. So if they see something,
yeah.
I think if Braxo plays his cards right, he can do baits. Like you can send up one guy, go, woohoo, we're over here. The entire Russian force goes over there, then they come swooping around the back. Like if they can bait them into making errors, that would be huge. And that's honestly the point I think we've reached within this tournament format. Because in the beginning, in the first seasons, it was just yeehaw, YOLO, and everyone dies. I mean, kind of random who wins, right? But I think they're like 600 IQing these players.
Have you watched Frozen recently or something?
Frozen?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yeah.
No.
So
Why?
you sounded just like the who's the guy in the log cabin? He's like the Scandinavian. Woo, hello, over here. He sounded exactly like.
I will be the Scandinavian log guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what you sounded like. And it's going to be, as we expected before, an East-West split this time. Obviously, it was a lot more diverse with the Finland-Czech Republic match. They were very much on top of each other. Offstring looks like he's challenging for a vehicle. It looks like they're about to be the only person having a peek towards the German Central Command.
The only
thing going on.
The only thing it's not a dislike, but I think it makes it harder for your team to win is that by committing to East, oh my lord. Hold that thought. That's military circle, D-man.
Well, it might speed the game up a little bit.
You'd assume so. Unfortunately, Northwest is there saying, guys, I've got Novo. We're safe. We got one guy across. No, but what I wanted to say with it, how do you knock yourself in the middle of a? How does that even happen?
There's not even like anything he.
There's nothing you could have hit.
Did he roll? There's got to be a bike. There's got to be a bike somewhere.
That's not something. That's not a thing.
Maybe he's confused as well. Did he hit a stone?
Maybe he tripped really hard.
Yeah. hit his head on the grass. Inspector.
I'm not sure.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, here's the cavalry, and he runs him over.
Set comes in. Okay.
Now, what I wanted to say is that by committing to this East-West thing that we see these teams do, because we've seen it before, the circle going hard west right off the bat, and it's not a guarantee that one team wins the game, but it's so damn difficult for that East team to go over and make a play on that side. Now, Germany is one of those teams that against Greece had that happen and beat the teams anyway. But as I also said, coming into that game, those were games where, just like with Finland, they backed off, and I don't see Russia doing anything in terms of backing off if they get the circles.
Beerbank's got too much on him there. No, he's got
it's
armor to light. Yeah, you wedged there, son.
Marco, that's why you don't drive cars. I'm not gonna say this many times, but you want to get to military with half a server. You need those vehicles running.
I gotta be honest. You got 64 players in server. I think he's gonna be pretty unlucky that we caught that on camera. Don't steal that guy's bike. That's the guy in the building. Look at him. He's come out. He's like, what are you doing?
See ya.
Oh, he's angry. He's angry. Just for fun, he's angry. He's just like, are you kidding me?
He's going to go to the buggy and be like, well, that doesn't work anymore. They're like, oh, you can take our buggy. It's over here. Don't worry. And then Marco's laughing his butt off.
He's just like, are you kidding me?
He's actually running to the buggy now to realize that it's not drivable. That's so toxic.
Oh,
that is so toxic. He's going to spike strip. He's going to... Oh, we didn't even think about that. I mean, okay, so this game doesn't really matter too much because it is a very west to east.
Yeah.
They have each their bridge, but imagine if you get that control and you put down a couple of spike straps on the bridges. That would be very next level.
Well, unfortunately, for Just for Fun, he's just going to be waiting for a pickup.
Fortunately, it is going to be coming. I mean, there's a lot of people maneuvering around to the Eastern Bridge going down there. But looking at control of Circle, right now it's Russia who has the base itself, and Germany hasn't really done anything
they're on the move.
To take control. Now, the only thing is, Russia also had players all the way up in Severny, so they have further to reach, but they are also already positioned in the middle.
Russia are on the move. You can see they're all heading south. Everybody was up in Severny is getting down quicker. Meanwhile, the people in Rozhok are still kind of stagnant at the moment. They need to get moving. Looks like Yasnaya is mobilized. They're all heading down south. Now, the issue is, the center point is Russia. There's no doubt about it. Germany might be able to reach the hangars, but that's probably a bit dangerous, I would say, because it's pretty open.
It is
the best approach for them is to swing all the way down the south and take the south side, which is what it looks like it's going to be. It looks like Northwest is going to be the first man. Here's Brexco, a.k.a. 32nd at PGC. Wasn't the best performance, was it? PGC.
I think a lot of teams didn't have the best performance, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, Team Liquid, guilty of that, just as anyone. But best of 6, that's what happens sometimes. Beerbanks. But by the way, these are the ones that stole that bike. Bike thieves spotted.
They're going to be hearing for that, I'm sure. Also, the fact that they probably in all honesty said, "Oh, but we have a buggy over here. You can go take that.
We're going to scout early. Yeah,
can we use the bike? We're going to go early across to see if we can get something. We're already 2 that are ready to move." And then they just throw him off. In all fairness, I mean, I thought what they were going to do is take the bike and crash it into the buggy, so they would kind of bounce it free. But not quite the case. Here comes the cavalry. The entire German brigade is making their way down towards the military island, where pretty much guaranteedly, at some point, a fight will happen, which will not last very long, and then a team will have won the first map.
This looks akin to something in 1942 at the moment. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
So, the military base is Stalingrad?
I don't think it was Stalingrad in 42. I don't think it was.
Well, it's probably 44. No, it was
it was earlier than that. Yeah, 44 was the demise.
What was in 42 then?
Dun 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 dun. Battlefield 42.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant like actual.
Well, yes,
situation.
Yes, in actual 42. Is he actually
Spikestream his teammates?
His teammates are coming over. You troll! What an absolute troll! Was that Makato? I didn't see it. Was it Snoopy? He's just trying them out. Makato.
He's just testing it. That's fair. Also making blockades for any opponents coming in.
It really knackers that car well, doesn't it?
It does.
It does do a
proper
job.
Easily. Now, no one's going to pick him up, and that's going to be sad. Maybe it was one of those, like the first time you pick up Find a Weapon, it's like, oh my god, I have to try it.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, he never tried to use them before, so he wanted to see what it looked like. Yeah.
It's got to be, wow. This is what I was expecting from Germany, the move south. But they've done it really well.
And
while Russia were piddling about on the bridge, testing spike strips, Germany have moved on force. And remember, they got the southern hill.
And
so that's a good vision they have. And they're actually trying to get the corner compounds.
Germany had to move in because they were essentially with 5 players inside this circle when it popped. They needed to move forward. Unfortunately, as we just talked about, Germany, they didn't stay in military. They backed out. And if this circle goes south now, well, we have pretty much a repeat of what we saw in the last games.
That's ballsy, Corey. Yeah, that's a little too close, I would say.
Take the house at least.
Get the granny.
Remember, it is a Wrangle 2.0, so there's plenty more cover here than what there used to be. And I'm actually, I can't really say this in a competitive way as what we normally say, but I'm really excited to see how this will impact fights on this area of the map once we do get a Wrangle 2.0 in squad games.
Well, the Deep was trying to get the deep south corner. Didn't work out for them, but we do have Russia holding the hill, as we expected. Obviously, the circle swing could be pretty big. Oh, pity. Oh, pity. I think we're going to see our first victim here. There's no way you're going to survive just driving over this hill straight into
I wonder if
traffic from 7.
Did he DC? He just kept driving straight. He might have DC.
Man.
That was a very, very committed suicide.
That was
a very
committed drive.
Yeah. That was a, you know what, I'm going to do this for research. Guys, they are here. We kind of knew that already, but I don't think you needed to go there.
I'll submit myself. Okay, that doesn't change anything.
That's fair. That's fair, 50-50.
That's a pretty decent split at the moment.
That's fair. Like, and also, I mean, it's gonna... I think there's a middle point being created right now between Memo and Hacker Jacker.
Yeah.
Where there's nothing, essentially. And I kind of want the fight to go there. Just because...
And look at that. Brex goes the front man, just scouting it all out.
I like that. We talked to Spike about it as well, how he likes to utilize his captain role. Does he want to be the one up front, or does he like being a little further back? And he said in the beginning he wanted to be back because he wanted to secure some points, and then once they kind of started steamrolling, he decided to I guess you could say dare a little more. Take a few more risks in that regard. Right now it's a little bit of a battle for turf. Russia's not pinned in up north. Then you have Set. You like the strategy from Set? He's doing the research rotation.
Well, he was looting, but now he does look like he's actually on a proper rotating.
He doesn't have a car though.
It could work out well for him.
He doesn't have a vehicle, but he's going to be able to provide a lot of information to his team should they not spot him.
Well, he's on a full run. He has to go silent, stealth mode. He could have got a bike and just knocked the engine off, but... Oh, has he been spotted?
No, it's not him. That's... Oh, yeah, maybe Chris.
Azrael's having to look that way. Or
Chris, Azrael, and Kane. That's a scary trio.
Yeah, that's it.
That is a scary trio to have down there. They're the ones that land the shots at a distance too, and I think that's why they have these three guys. You can see them right here, looking over in this direction, trying to make sure no one's moving around the back. But of course,
and Set will be a voice. For obviously in-game leader himself. Used to be for Crow Crowd. And then was for Chokers, right?
He is providing so much info for his team. I mean, the fact that he don't see opponents, we didn't really talk too much about that, but the fact that he doesn't see opponents is almost more informational than had he seen like 3 or 4 players, because then you wouldn't know. But him, like, if he can say there's no one between me and 400 meters towards the west, that would be sick.
Oh,
and now this circle is going to force Germany into a, I want to say, spearhead up the hill engagement.
So obviously down to where Tab is and up to Krabik, that's like the peak of the hill is where Krabik and Co are. You can see obviously the mass. It does give Russia the lion's share of the hill. The compound for Germany is obviously the one down in the south.
There's going to be a 3-2-1
side.
call.
The rest of Germany all need to move into this next circle though, and it is starting to get a little bit messy, a little bit crowded. This is the compound down on the south side that Germany holds. Sadovnik with a cheeky pop onto Marco. I've seen Marco dropping a couple of times. He must be really low.
That's what you get for stealing bikes.
Yeah, there he goes. He's gone. Yeah, exactly. He is the stealer. He is the crasher, right? He's the one that can't drive. Oh, this is a push for the... Okay, so that's a nice ridge.
There's a ridge line.
I've seen many teams winning from this little ridge line that Northwest and Kate and Co have all just got to. This is where 7 won, I think, that massive game in the PEL.
Yeah. Face has won a couple of games from there as well. You need to make sure, though, by sitting here that no one's breaching around the west side. And I think that's why they have that compound down in the south, because that is preventing Russia essentially from wrapping around that way. But at some point soon, I'm expecting Breck to just call it and say, guys, now is when we move. And they have to do it. Should this next circle go north, they will have to. But because they have this ridge line here with the amount of players they do, should this next circle go south, them having hard cover on both the east and the southwest side of the circle is going to make it really good for them. Phil missing a few there. Not able to get him down low.
They have lost a couple of players, though, Germany. They're getting sniped a wee bit. So we have basically one squad in the compound south, one squad in this ridge line, which is the center point at the moment. It is slightly different. Only ever so slightly by a couple of trees and Co from Erengo Classic, but they are slowly but surely bringing the players that were down on the edge of the circle. Bear in mind, Set's still down there. Set is still there. Chris, who's down there? Chris and Azrael. They're holding the back
so
line.
much info. He is providing, like, he can see it's pretty much their, like, the entire German team.
Yeah. You can see them all at this dip. Now, what's working out well for them here is this little flank for Russia. Dranis is actually leading it. They're putting a little bit of pressure on the southern compound. They're Set. He decides to strike, gets Azrael down. Now, Chris will be nearby. Instantly turns. Chris might get caught in the back. Couple more shots. Chris is low. Oh, he's run out of bullets.
Reload.
So unlucky, but Set puts the pressure on, and that definitely will change things. Chris will not back down from that fight, though.
We talked about how much of a nuisance one player can be to an enemy team. They need to commit 3 or 4 players on trying to find him.
Trash and Hiruzian, they're going to be the anchors here. They, ironically, were the team that did a similar move to this. If that nade gets within range of the ditch, there's the smoke down. It could be huge. That nade straight across the Just. It will catch him on the back. They'll be thinking, hang on a minute, a grenade? How did that get in range? The smoke is actually helping them out. They're going to get straight on it, but the players are on the left side. They've actually passed them by, so they've almost gone a little too far.
Yeah, they're going to be a screen at some point soon. Trumpet has no idea where everyone is, and now they're both going to go down. Now, the circle did shift west. Russia is sitting decently inside, and this is going to be the final fight. But look at the numbers already. Germany is already down 5 now. They are getting a few kills in return, but this one is going to be tough for Germany fighting uphill.
Well, it's down to this southern compound squad that really needs to help out, because Germany are in trouble on the hillside. There's no doubt about it. Vortex has gone a little far forward. They're getting pressured. They've actually committed way too many down south. Just because they're set, they've pulled, what, 4 down there now? And they've obviously, with Chris, so they've really committed a lot to it. Nade up top, that's going to catch one. Eternal will go down. Kisic's going to have to back away from that one. Has he got any nades left? Can he pick any nades up? Doesn't matter. He's too late. Oh, how did he survive? Gets away with nothing and backs off. But that hillside, it is very aggressive right now.
Zed is still alive behind enemy lines, providing so much info. They are catching up a little bit, the German forces. Now down by only 3. Of course, knocks are not counted. But I don't really see that many knocks, to be fair, around here now. Ooh, that's a good one. That's 4 people they can stack with level 3 gear right there.
The biggest issue for Russia right now is the fact that they're having to peek and silhouette over the ridge line. And every time they do, there's, what, 25 people staring up at them, taking shots straight towards their heads. So one of them is likely to connect, which is why we're seeing so many of these knocks right now for Germany. They managed to catch quite a lot of the Russians out. This little force around the left-hand side is... honestly, it should get pressured. If Gideon looks to his left and sees the fact that there is only about 3 or 4 over here, there's, I would say, 8 people sitting in the south compound that could just absolutely overwhelm them. And that would lose, then, the entire western side for Russia.
Yep. Seth did manage to get taken down. Corey was there to get the flush on him. Does go down to the blue in the end. Now, they only have 5 players on the left side of the road, Russia. Germany, surprisingly so, have taken a lot of control and they're actually pinning Russia on the hill.
Germany have to push. This southern squad has to push.
They need
because everyone on the east is under pressure by these guys. Alia and co. You got Drenis over there, Batula and Alia. They're all pressuring. There's only 5 people here. But Germany, if they deal with them, the map is theirs, but they're not doing it. Look at that. Drainish, AWM takes Chris down. Everybody on the south side, they've got to move. And now they have to, because the circle has forced them.
Yeah. Now they're going to have to move. They have to send it full speed forward. Germany needs to push further up the hill. They don't have to commit completely to the top, because the fight is going to take place on the downhill slant towards Germany. But for Russia as well, half of them can't peek. I mean, you can only peak X amount of players at the time, and now Russia's committing. They're committing over the side.
They've got to get so many smokes. So the southern German team, they have to now go around to the east because they couldn't deal with it quick enough. The peak of the Russian forces can see all the way down on. That's why we're seeing Germans falling fast now, but it's nade time. Anyone going to get close enough to try and pop them off and roll them down the hill? It's all about the high ground once again, as we've seen so many times in the Nations Royale, and Russia hold it.
They're doing really, really well. High ground sure prevails, and right now it's working in their favor. Now, Drainish does go down. Germany are finding some of the players on the left side, but I think it might just be too little too late. There are a couple of players down already. They're already down by a 4-point deficit as well. Zane pushing around this side. Upika's up above on the other. This ain't done just yet, but it's going to be hard for Germany to get up this hill.
There's still a lot of work to do, but there's so many German players that have been knocked in that little ridge line now that it's kind of working against them. They just don't have the positional player. You can see Russia, they're still holding the high ground. Lots of Russian players on the flank that are down. But the problem is, I'm looking in the background, you can see Germany, they have a lot of players down, and a couple of nades would just finish the entire game right now.
Yeah, that's the issue for them. They can't really make that final push over the top, because there's like one little plateau right now between where Germany and Russia is, and I think whichever team gets the shift in their favor now might end up winning, because things are, I mean, even though Germany have a couple of knocks in there and they're 4 points down, or 4 players down, if this circle shifts southeast, it could still go their way. Like, they shouldn't give up on it just yet.
Kemba's holding the left side at the moment, along with a couple of other players, and that's where the pressure is. Felix is trying his best to make the push up. Kemba's ahead of him. Kemba gets Senya down. So, pushing around the side, Sane, I should say, not Senya. There goes Phalanx now. Yeah, that's the end of Germany. That was their little get-out-of-jail-free card. They were trying to get this little flank push, and that could have got over the brow of the hill. But now it's just going to be a case of numbers overwhelming. Russia are pushing forward. Look at the map. You can see them all swarming, onto Germany. Now. They're pushing on the ridgeline. Germany are trying to sweep around the side, but it's too little too late. It's going to be Russia that will take the first game. And it was simply a case of holding the high ground early on.
There's no way in hell Germany gets out of this alive. They are doing they're doing a very, very, very impressive job at holding off. But I do not see them at all being able to win this. I think they're down just 3 or 4 players now.
Yeah, nothing they can do about it, Germany, unless they can have something absolutely godlike. Phalanx is trying. He's got the flank around. Phalanx and Rax have got the flank around the back that they're going to have to go big. Yanis gets a couple down as well. 5 to 12. They've got to go massive here. There is a lot of knocks, but they're going to have to go huge. Gets the shots off. Phalanx has got to go big here. It's just the two of them trying to do what they can. Yanis has gone down. Rax has been knocked. Phalanx on his own. And unfortunately, just too little too late. The flank finally worked out for them, but it will be Russia taking the first map, 11-0.
Knocks counted here. Yeah. I only think Russia has somewhere around 5 or 6 players left on their feet. This match, I think, was a lot more close.
A lot closer, yeah.
Than what Russia would have wanted it to be.
Honestly, I think if that Southern Compound squad had have found a way out of it, the problem is they couldn't just go north because everybody on that hill could have an angle down them. So if they'd gone north, and that's what saved Drainus and co. Where there was just 5 people. They had that crate, and they had this clean angle straight across to everybody in that ditch. And that just kept getting knocks after knocks after knocks. So Germany could never consolidate their position and then try and mount an offensive on the hill. So I don't really know where they could have gone. They maybe could have gone further to the east earlier. Possibly.
Wrapped around more, yeah.
But it needed to be way more assertive. Yeah. And at the time, they had circle.
I think Germany did the right move in trying to make the push underneath to the south initially, but 2 circles moving north up towards the mountains made it hard. And as I said, I was waiting for that spearhead push up at some point, just never really happened. Like, if they wanted to win that hill, they needed to full speed send it, and that never really became a thing.
Makatu having fun.
Gotta test it out. Gotta see what it's all about.
This was, we're pretty sure Pity crashed.
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
This was
ready to push. So just back there was where they needed to make this push over to the east, and it was just a little too late, I'm afraid.
It became. It seemed like they had a chance when there were like 3 or 4 players knocked on that ridgeline, but that was when the remaining Russian forces started swarming around the side, and I think at that point it was pretty much game over for them.
Well, so Russia, not as
wasn't dominant at all, and not by any means, by no means at all.
Yeah, that was a close game. Phalanx did really well at the end there.
Circle shift in any direction there in the end could have made the difference. When they had the kind of stalemate where Germany was 4 players down, had that shifted south instead of continuing up the ridgeline, up the mountain, Germany could have been the swarming team there because all the Russian players had already committed to going back up the mountain.
Well, we did hear Brexco earlier saying he wasn't that confident on Erangel, so we'll see how it plays out on the next map. It is Russia. They're 1-0 up. It is a best of 7, so lots of action to go. See you after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GLL Nations Royale. It is the winner bracket finals, Russia versus Germany. And Russia are 1-0 up, but it was a close one.
It was.
Closer than we expected.
Closer than you expected.
Right, okay.
I'm not going to jump on your Russia bandwagon.
I see. We're moving on to Vikendi, which Brexco said that is the map of choice for them. So we're going to see whether Germany can indeed step up on their map.
Yeah, that's... I'm trying to think back at having seen Russia on bikini.
They were pretty good.
But yeah, just in general, Russia.
I remember the wraparound they did particularly on.
I would have wanted to talk to Dranis about it too, but I don't think they really, like, even if you ask them, I don't think they have a map they're considering their bad map. Yeah, I don't think they have a bad map at all.
I don't know, they got too many good players to have a bad map, I think.
Probably
they can probably
that.
deliver.
But I mean, if there was to be any, at least in terms of, because we talked about that Dranis and them being in that dip, the 5-player where they have their off angle. That tells map knowledge. Well, that might be a thing that they don't have on Vikendi.
That and Set going around the back and basically saying they're all in the dip.
He was an info man as well.
All there. They're all
but
here.
The fact that
and then he got that one shot.
There, yeah, exactly.
And it pulled, what, 5 people? Into Chris to like, they're behind us, they're behind us. And then obviously it was just a giant mislead.
We're remaking
the game. We're having a remake.
The game.
Okay, well that just means we're going to waffle.
We're not going to waffle. We're super informative. And
that is true. That is true. We are informative, guys. We are super informative. And I can inform you that at midnight tonight, you're going to see North America versus Brazil. That is the grand finals for the Americas. Nations Royale. It makes it a little fairer, you know, so it's not like America versus Russia or whatever like we had before. You know, the Cold War happening again.
Time zones and pings
in PUBG.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Makes it, I mean, even being ping between Brazil and North America.
Yeah, that's a
pretty bad
ping.
already.
Yeah, that's bad enough. So I guess we're going to be flip-flopping between North American and South American servers.
That's normally how it
for that one, yeah. So, but best of 7, it'll even out in the end. But yeah, I had a few people I talked to with that played for Canada. They were up against, obviously, they had a close game against America.
True.
Relatively close. Obviously, they're all sharing MPL players across each other. But it was America that came out on top, so they're going into that one favourites. That's going to be at midnight tonight. If you missed earlier on, Czech Republic took down Finland 4-0. Impressive performance from the Czech Republic. They're going to be playing the loser of this match, and that will be at 4 p.m. 2
tomorrow.
2 p.m. tomorrow? 2 p.m. 2 p.m. tomorrow. It's a good job you know these things. So that's going to be at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and then the grand finals for Europe, of course, also will follow that. So at the moment, we're just making a remake. Everybody's piling in there. Obviously, when you've got 64 players to get back in the server, looks like they're getting in pretty quick, though.
I got to ask you, D-Man, if you, and I mean, now you've casted quite a few of these games over, well, because of the existence of the tournament format. What would you say as for an aspiring player? Like, what are the top experienced squad game player, competitive PUBG player? What's the biggest difference and takeaway from what we see normally in competitive squad games to this?
To Nations. 2 p.m. confirmed. Okay, 2 p.m. is confirmed tomorrow. So it's just double checking that one because my math's not good. As a Nations player as opposed to a squad player is what you're referring to.
Yeah, but because most people, we must assume, come from being a squad player.
Yeah, of course,
right? Nobody makes a career.
It's effectively,
not yet, at least.
Effectively something I am experienced at, and that was a Battlefield player many moons ago. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, former world champion.
Okay, sorry. I wasn't the Danish national team, but I was never world champion.
It was a long time ago.
That's for world champion player?
Dignitas, yeah. We won 143 games unbeaten. That's when we formed Dignitas.
In which?
I was the
42?
creator of Dignitas along with OD and Co. Battlefield 1942. Yeah. You were Desert Combat, right? When you?
No, I played Battlefield 2.
Were you Battlefield 2? Right, the choppers.
I played all of them.
About the choppers. We had this discussion before.
Vietnam was my chopper.
Vietnam with the music. That was the best.
That was my chopper.
The best. But yeah, in terms of that, you're obviously you're going to have your awareness and everything, but the squad players are always going to have that. But you need to get out of that squad mentality of like, I need to hold this compound, to I need to hold this entire ridge line. And you're playing in a squad of 8, not 4, because that's effectively your micro squads, right? And it's a case of don't do the bloody hero plays. Because the fact is, if they're like, oh, there's one guy up there. Yeah, let's push him. Okay. Actually, there's about 20 the other side of the hill.
Only do the hero play if your commander tells you to, because then it's his fault.
Well, yeah. Well, it's more a case of like if you're doing it, and that's how I was really impressed with the Czech Republic with the squads.
Yeah.
With how they committed. And you said, okay, we're going to send 2 squads to that point, and then that's when you can do your hero play. You can commit, send it, and we saw them, right? We saw them. You didn't hang around. There was no hesitation. They went to building and everybody in. It was like a SWAT team invasion onto like through the windows, through the doors, through everything. Not like normally, if it'd be a squad game, you'd get in position, you'd set, you'd nade, you'd smoke, you'd flashbang or whatever, maybe a molly to try and flush him out, then you'd go in. But you didn't have time for that.
They're more expendable people now.
That's it, exactly. you are expendable, yeah. But also on that point is there's a lot more people to revive you, so
yes,
you've got to commit.
That's what I was thinking about too, in terms of where in squads sometimes you don't want to discuss ever during the games, but you can. Seems like we're remaking.
We're remaking again.
They're really testing.
God damn it,
they're testing our knowledge. Yeah, but no. One of the main things I would say is never question the decision being made above you. Like you just got to be the arms. You got to be the weapon for your team. And whenever someone says do this, you might have an idea that you think is better.
Oh god, yeah.
But you better damn go do what they say, because there's probably a bigger meaning to it that you might not understand.
Yeah, and you're only gonna just annoy 30 other people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's like yes, you may have a better idea, but talk about it afterwards. I mean that goes with all matches, right? So there's another remake. Kenny's not being our friend today.
So is it our observers' fault for making the wrong settings? Or is it the game? Who should we blame? We have the power to blame people without them being able to do anything to tell us what's right or wrong.
Well,
who are we blaming today, do you mean? The observers for doing wrong settings?
I never blame the observers.
Oh, you never would blame any observers.
No. In all the leagues I cast, there's never been a problem with observers. But not here. We've not had a problem here.
I'm not even going to engage in that discussion.
I know. You try to stay...
I'm going to let you go on fire.
Stay neutral. Try to stay neutral. No, actually, okay, we will say it was server problem.
It was server problem.
Yeah, that's what we're going to
say. Let's blame PUBG instead.
Yeah. It's the safe bet, right? It's the safe bet, server problem.
That's
the old Miramar bug. The old Miramar bug.
Oh, my lord. I remember casting a GLL game once with 11 remakes.
11?
Good times. And that was the one where it always was at... It was at 18 minutes and 13 seconds that everyone crashed. So 11 remakes where we got to 18 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yep.
And then to get to that 18 minutes, you had probably about 3 restarts to get over the freeze.
And it was the first
Is anyone moving? Is anyone moving? He's moved. He moved.
It was the first time for us ever casted. And I remember turning the stream off like 1 second too late, because as soon as I told him we were off air, he just went like... swear word, like, oh, and that exactly got caught on camera. It's like, whoops.
That's, ladies and gentlemen, why Froz is not here.
he got caught. He got caught. It was my fault. It was my fault. But that was a long night, and we've fortunately come a long way since then.
Yes. We've got to the point where we remake twice for remake.
Now it's on Vikendi. Now it's on Vikendi instead.
We've come so far. We're still waiting for Russia, Germany. They are all back in server apart from one person for Russia.
That's the drill. It's like fire drills, you know?
Can you get in
How fast can you join the servers, guys?
He's obviously someone that's gone and started.
It was Drainus.
It was Drainus.
It was the captain.
So he might be doing something with the stream or whatever. I don't know. Some of them are doing highlight stuff and that. So maybe they're. In case you don't know, the captains are streaming as well. So if you want, say, the captain's point of view, load up your multi-Twitch or your squad view or whatever you want, and have them in there as well as us, obviously.
They will most likely be speaking in their native languages, though. So if you don't speak Russian nor German, you might not understand a lot of what they say. But then again, there is a lot of... I mean, that's what you realize. Even when you cast like Chinese games and whatnot, sometimes we get to hear the in-game comms. There's a surprisingly lot of PUBG terminology that goes across and beyond anything.
Yeah,
you can almost understand conversations.
You can figure out what they're
communication, because you get like 556. Like, don't they have numbers in their own languages? I'm like, why would it be 556 in English when you talk like language? 556. Well, the English would be 556.
Yeah.
But I don't think we say 556 in Danish. I just think we say 556 too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those that would make sense to say in your own language, right?
Well, that's German as well, from sex.
Do they say that in German when they play PUBG?
I assume so.
The only thing I know they say is Verlängerungsmagazin.
What's that? The Fullständig Magazine.
That's extended mag, but it's
extended magazine.
That's my word for extended mag in German.
Yeah.
It's not true. They don't call it that. They call it something else. I don't know what.
It probably will be a completely different name or something like that. Yeah, I would have thought so.
Should we?
It looks like it's loaded.
Don't jinx it, man.
No, I know. I'm just waiting to.
We're really hoping that the game is gonna get started. But before we get to that, man, because now I asked you.
PUBG question of the day.
Oh, no, I can't do them on camera.
No.
Because then I don't get all my impressions on Twitter, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, I have to write.
But yours was just about the glider today, right?
Can I not ask a question without it being my PUBG question? Have we reached that point where no matter what I ask on Twitter,
it's going to be the PUBG question.
It's going to be the PUBG question of the day. Okay, maybe it is. No, I wanted to hear from you. What do you like the most about this? Because now I know you've cast it.
or Nations Royale?
Nations Royale, because it's way long. Also in terms of us for casting.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I casted this the first time, I was thinking like Battlefield and that whole big scale warfare, but with the individual mindset of every player. It's not just one guy clicking 10 soldiers around and controlling.
Well, that came in too, right? The commander mode came.
Yeah. That's what I've been waiting for. Like red zone, there.
Yeah.
No, but what do you like the most about?
I mean,
watching and casting this.
I'm a fan of this, obviously, because, like you say, Battlefield. I did the first Nations Royale. God, it was
that's
season 2.
Season 2. I
think it was me and Froz. It was chaos, and it was so much fun because it was played in the right spirit, which is the best thing. And I think we're hearing from it. Yes, it's got a little bit more tactical, I think now, but it's still played in the right spirit of everybody's in there having fun. Like it's not super serious, but it's still fun. And I love the fact that it's like, I love seeing what we just saw with the Czech game a moment ago, like the movement, the tactical calls. Hearing Spike talking about sending 2 squads into that position so we can overwhelm them and use the numbers advantage and stuff like that. That's the sort of stuff I love to see and hear.
Makes perfect sense, and I couldn't agree with you more. To be fair, I mean the tactical aspect, and also just seeing players transition. That they do get out of that squad bubble and play at bigger scale. And it goes to show that these people are putting a ton of time, especially the captains, and probably also their, I mean, Spike called them their in-game leaders, some call them their generals, their commanders, their sergeants, whatever you want to name it. They have like X amount of players under them that they know can help dictate the game.
Well, we may have a couple of squads clashing with each other here. Especially up north, Germany and Russia. When we refer to squads, we're talking about a group of 8 players. And that certainly is what happening in the north. It looks like they do want that same place. They're both going to Zabava, and they're surely going to pull out of that one. Yeah, Piddy's pulling out
last game too. I mean, the Finland, Czech Republic, that was also in Villa. They were fighting.
Kissik's on his own. Who's with him? I can't tell who that is. There's a German player with him as well. But it does look like we'll see whether we get fights. It looks like most of the German players have pulled out. So Piddy and Co have pulled out. Yeah.
It's pretty obvious to see when we talk about squad looting or full team looting that Russia has 4 squads of 8. 1 is south, 1 is west, 1 is center, 1 is north. And I think Phil just... Did he get seen? Yes, he did. But he got the first knock. He got the second as well with the M16 of all guns. The burst prevails.
Wow.
That is a tough loss early. 2 players down without any response. That's, I mean, it might not look as much, but it really could be a big difference maker because they just got full control of the center.
That's big play from Phil as well.
It really is.
I am Phil.
I am Burst. It's not worst, it's burst. But
do you think that's like a response to "It's Chris"? I am Phil.
Could be. Maybe.
Kissik's trying it with the M16 now. He just heard it's going well.
Wait, that gun works, and then now everyone's using it. That's what it takes sometimes, right? Just one guy to have a good moment with the weapon, and then all of a sudden everyone's using it.
Trying to lead too much there, son.
He's not used to the bullet speed of the M16.
That's it. That's totally it. Oh, well, he needs a vest. That's what he's looking for.
There's a mini there. He's going to swap it out, right?
Too damn right he is.
There you go. Okay, so I take for granted you've played Vikendi before. What was the first place you ever dropped on Vikendi when you played? Do you remember?
It was the bloody Jurassic Park place.
It was for me too.
Everybody wants to go there because you want to check it out.
But I heard the name. I hadn't seen it. Like
I saw the preview shots and everything of this.
I hadn't seen any of it.
I was like,
I just jumped in and I got so freaking scared. Every time, like when you run around in the maze and there's those dinosaurs in like kind of jump scare positions, it scared the hell out of me.
It's fantastic. There's some artists at PUBG Corp had good fun. Had good fun there. I mean, the whole map. I think graphically, the whole map, like the castle, is absolutely magnificent. I think the whole design of those sort of things.
Agreed.
The town that I can never remember the name of down south that's walled in. I actually, to be honest, there's tons of towns.
I think it's called. Right?
Yeah, Volnova, something like that. The town further up on the river that Brexco and Co are in. There's actually, just to be honest, there's so many good, really nice designed buildings, towns, and the structures. But the castle for me is probably my favorite. I think just because I do like my medieval type stuff.
It is very unique,
and it looks really good.
It does. It is also like it is a very, very, very unique structure to the map. I mean, yes, these compounds look different from buildings on other maps, but the castle is just a massive structure that is
invisible gun boys.
Unique. Then you don't see you when you lean around the corner. You know, it's pretty smart strategy. That's one of those new skins they've added.
He's just sticking his thumb up. That's all he's doing.
Thumbs upping me. You did a nice job today. It's like the spirit. He's raising the spirit of the team. You know. I'm seeing people on top of each other. Gideon and I can't see. Is it Millman who's there? I think it might be, and he's tracking a lot of Russian players over his direct. Like the entirety of the north center city is being left essentially right now. And Trips and no more thumbs up for you.
Yeah, that was north by the coal mine, but here's Melman. This is what we were talking about. So Gideon down, caught out with the drive-by effectively, or that as soon as he came straight in, Melman's in trouble. It bails out the back, but he's got support back here.
Leah's there. Leah has arrived and more people are coming, and I don't think the German team is ready for this.
They're kind of all pouring back here. I'm not too sure. We might just have a fight. Start off here and finish here. Everybody's starting to come this way. Rack's down. Alia's doing well, as you say, and Melman. They've kind of dealt with the threat effectively, and I think Germany are just going to end up sitting on the hill. You can see they're sort of pulling in two different directions, but Germany losing a couple of plates here. First Lady completely on their own up the top there. Kissick had already taken down his teammate, so the North has very much been lost. Center position was won by German players earlier on. It was Phil, wasn't it, with the 2 kills, but that's all we've had so far for Germany.
I think it's pretty interesting to see First Lady on his own, because I know he's like a solo game leaderboard grinder who's actually like up in the leaderboards in solos. I didn't even think that was possible, but he's way up there, and he is well, now he's on the run with an entire German or the entire Russian squad after him.
It's one thing to load into squads, and others have 8 Russians on it.
The nerfed cave that remained hidden for I think how long? 15 minutes.
The hidden cave, yeah. He's got the thing. Chris, nice, Chris. Tapper. And he's going to confirm it as well. Nicely done.
Is he though?
Yeah.
There you go.
Tried to block it, but not going to bullet block that. So one back. The fight's happening. Look at the center of the map. They're all pulling into this.
It might. At least Russia seems to be, to some extent, swarming around, like getting more control of the south side of the circle. I kind of want the circle just to go center, even though that might mean that the fight won't happen now, just because I think this is actually a pretty good area to have that engagement.
Yeah, definitely. Just north of
you have the big mountain of Kresnik, and you have like Goroka, the big city, and it drifted south. Okay.
Kovar.
Yeah, but a lot of German players up on that mountain, they need to get the hell down south.
Yeah, and they are going to move for it. I'm just wondering, so the thing is with this, right, you don't always need to move with the circle.
But here, I mean, if they're on the mountain and they, like the Russians get to swoop underneath, then they're completely pinned off.
But I would say that the key differential between this, look at Batulin. Batulin's in the center, just getting all the information of German driving past him.
Yeah.
The key differential between this and squads, like we were talking about earlier on, is the fact that you don't have to center up. You don't need to get on the move early on as quick as possible.
Yeah, we saw Finland try and do that, and it actually kind of worked against them when they kept backing off and taking center positions, because for the most part it would have been better. They would have been better off just trying and staying in their position, holding off, and that's what Braxco was talking about as well in the interview prior to today's first game, that they want to see if they can cut off the Russian players. So far, though, it hasn't been working out for them. Imagine that triple nade.
Mika's been picked up.
That's the kills you want to find, to be fair. Vehicle explosions with 4 people or 3 people in the cars, those are the kills you want to get. Those are the big difference makers.
I mean, you catch this car that nearly hits a tree, then you're loving life.
Yeah.
That's Chris and Co all piling down south. God,
no one's playing music.
If I think how graphics and games have progressed, like a lot of people obviously complain about things in this game, but my God. In terms of technology, it's so far on how things used to be.
Go play 1942, guys. Go play some 1942 and then come back and complain.
Gonna play Delta Force 1. Let's see how things are different these days.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah. Good lord.
So we talked about the scout squads. There's still a northern one with Melman, Batulin, and some of the other Russian players. Now, last game it was just set by himself. I don't think that was on purpose. This time around, as you can see up north by Kreshnik, there are still 4 players on the other side of the map. And seems like, once again, this one is a pretty even 50-50 split in terms of circle control.
Yeah, I think Germany did pretty well. They obviously had a lot of vehicles set up for themselves, so they've rotated pretty well, as of Russia. Russia got down south pretty quick. And as you say, just those couple of solo players, that's not what you want. You don't want to be doing that. Don't knock your own players. That's the
biggest issue. I mean, I can't even see what it was. It's
no,
probably
it was
like one thing is when you have 4 guys next to each other starting their rotations.
No, it's so I mean they're rotating back around. They're going around just north of Dino Park. So
one thing is when you have 4 guys rotating next to each other. Hold that thought.
Brex go.
As far as I remember, that's actually
committed there. 2 hit points.
I think that's Nelos. I think Braxco is just called Brax in game.
Oh, is he?
That's Nelos.
He's not 32nd.
No, I'm pretty sure that's Nelos.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. It is confirmed. Confirmed by X. I don't know who's on the camera.
One of them spamming the mouse back and forth.
This is risky. This is risky, and this is one of the things that we discovered over the year of Nations Royale is it's a bit dangerous to clump up like this because one big nade. God, do you remember that Spain-Portugal game? Was it you and me that did that?
I think so.
It was like the Spain-Portugal and Sanok.
2 nades with like 9 kills or something like that.
Oh my God, I still remember that so well.
That won them the game, essentially. That was like those were 2 nades that won the game.
Yeah,
that was pretty interesting.
Bonkers game, and it was Sanok, wasn't it? Sanok Rock.
I think so. Yeah.
Anyway, that aside, this is getting pretty close. Everybody's clustering around this rock down the Abbey Way. Russia have got bigger numbers, I would say, and I don't think Germany realised that they're above them.
Yeah,
we could give in the information, but look, they're all the other side.
You can't get any info. You have to push around the rock to see anything.
Yeah.
There could be 2 players on each side they wouldn't know, to be fair. I mean, you can see Russia is trying to wrap underneath and get more info, more control. Now,
Sets on the ramp again.
I would assume this fight isn't going to push back towards the field, just because there's really no... neither team is really in an advantageous position trying to take this fight up on the mountain. As I say that, they start escalating.
Yeah, Trainers has got a decent angle on them as well. Needs to back away. I would say the worry for Germany is that there's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players wrapping around the outside, on the east side. Set has joined them. Batulin's out there, Melman, Horizon. So they're all good players. Trash out there. I mean, it's Russia. They're all good players.
That's the sheep herders who's kind of been backtracking the entire...
They look at it. They're all pushing in. Germany's screwed.
You would think so, unless if they can deal with them somehow, that's going to be a well engaged and well executed kind of pincer.
Even on the western side, to be honest, they're pinned as well.
They need to break out on some corner. Like in some side,
ironically,
they need to
by
make a escape move.
Pin in the tab, Eternal Faith, they've all got the angles. Germany are in desperate trouble unless they get another double like that, where Felix just did. Faultless comes in to save the day as they try and push the compounds. Now, they could work it into the compounds and overwhelm them in numbers. Wanderer comes in. Koho will get the one down, but Wanderer saves the day along with Stimix. And it doesn't look like Miyajomo is going to do anything.
We talk about Russia sometimes overcommitting to different things. This time around, it does seem to work, but they have a lot of player knocks in around this shack Russia right now. If PD can come up and help, maybe we just flush some of them, because I think there's like 4 or 5 knocks inside that building, which are all looking to get rest right now.
Germany are finding
Look at how many players knocked
here.
inside that building.
Yeah, they're starting to find kills. That's kind of like they wrapped around and...
They want to get in again. They want to go back in. It's like, there's so many kills to be found in there. Gotta get going.
Russia kind of caught out a little bit here. Just only a little bit. As Wanderer's doing some work here.
Oh, okay. This is the nursery. What do you call the nursery with the kids crawling around on the floor?
There you go. Gets himself a double with that nade. Confirms more.
Also a teammate, so.
22 to 17. Yeah, I didn't. It's collateral damage. 2 for 1. Worth.
Take one for the team,
Hashtag
buddy.
worth. Melman, Horizon, and Trash are all still coming in behind them.
Yeah, this is looking grim.
Sweeping around. But there's Melman down. So maybe it's not quite all over yet.
I don't mean, we saw last game how Germany
I was about
almost
to
brought
say,
it back.
Wander's
Yeah.
just been taken down.
Yeah.
Pity's gone in. They've cleared out the room. That's Germany taking control of those buildings. So now they have the buildings, but in the grand scheme of things, the circle very much in Russia favor. They have, I would say, what, 80% of the circle. And obviously now we're about to get the next circle shrink. Could cause big problems for Germany here. But numbers,
I think
are kind of equal, but that's a problem.
Germany is not going to back off now first. Or Russia is not going to back off. This is where we would have seen Finland try and get to the center compound, right? And kind of give them a chance. Like right now, blue doesn't matter anymore. You're going to take this fight. You're going to force them to stay out in the blue. And you're going to try and win right here, right now.
Goddamn white suit. Yeah, Drox, if he gets his ass in here, should be able to see him. But caught out by the Wookiee suit. It's a nade straight down. That's adventurous, I was going to say. I don't think you got quite strong an arm as that.
Grenade launcher.
So where do they go? Okay, you're stuck in your compound.
Russia stays. Russia stays.
No, I just mean Germany. They're like,
they have to push through.
Where can they push? Where can they go? I don't think they can.
No, there's really nowhere for them to go. And this is what we were talking about, how Finland would have backed off. And that would have given Germany a win in that situation.
Yeah.
But here, they ain't gonna go. This is exactly what Spike was talking about.
There's Brax.
Russia never backing off. Like, they will seize. And you can see right now, they are seizing everything they can.
Yeah, and they're all pushing Germany now, all out to the north, and they're just getting picked off. Hackerjack goes down, Drenis and co. Remember where Russia were on that hillside? They're still there.
Yeah.
Not gone anywhere. And Germany's escape was to get in those buildings and try and work out, but Russia held their ground. And it is going to be simply a case of picking them off. They've headed out to the north, but none of them are in the circle. They're just getting Haruzen and Kompot trash down there. But unfortunately, everybody that committed to that are dead.
Given how much Germany, because I think I'm allowed to take for granted now that Germany probably won't win this game, but given how much Russia has been literally stomping their way through this tournament so far, Germany's really putting up a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking one circle shift in either direction.
Yes.
Could have been the game changing. Same thing last game happening. Had that circle gone down the hill, it could have been Germany's game. I feel like there was a decent chance for Germany to win this one too, but, well, can't. 1v14. Good luck.
But Vikendi was Germany's map.
It was. At least the points to himself.
Yes, the vetoes. So, wasn't to be. It's Russia with the victory. 14-0 this time. Not as close. It does mean that it's now 2-0. And Miramar up next.
Yeah.
Which is first one we've had today.
It is. It's the first time we get to see Miramar today, and I actually like it. It opens up the map a lot more, but it also means that making those sneaky plays that we've seen Russia do twice now, it's going to be that much harder. Because unless if the fight like kind of evolves around the city, then you will catch that guy rotating around in the middle of a map, or in the middle of a field.
This is where Germany lost about 4 or 5 people actually in and around this compound. One of the squads were picked off, which put them at a disadvantage because this is one of the northern squads, so I feel they lost quite a few people there. Christopher's nice little long-range knock and confirm.
It was always Russia kind of stepping ahead, and then Germany catching up, and then Russia stepping ahead, and then Germany catching up, and interesting backflips then there. In the end of it, it became Russia stepping ahead, and then Germany simply just not having the manpower to catch up again. So I think Germany needs to do something more maybe drastic to go out and either aggress on their opponent or just trying to take more control than what they've been doing right now, because they have kind of been playing on the back foot of Russia getting circles and better positions.
And they kind of got pinned at the... Obviously, it was at the mountain. They all pushed one side of the mountain. Russia pushed the other. The problem is that Germany were all there, and Russia had the little 4 or 5 man sheep herders coming around the back to keep pushing them forward. And they did. We just saw there. They didn't deal with the Kompot trash until the very last person to die for Russia, and then the rest of them, by that time, were already dead. So we're going to go to break. When we come back, it will be Miramar for Germany versus Russia. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GLL Nations Royale. I'm Lee Deeman Smith, and this is Toby. And Toby, it is 2-0 to Russia over Germany. And we're moving on to Myanmar now.
I mean, I wanted to be scared for Germany, but I also saw them clean sweep Greece. Maybe they just want to go fall behind a little and then boom, to make it exciting.
I feel like Germany just a touch sluggish on their responses to movements. That's really all the difference is. And Russia, and you know, as Spike said earlier on, Russia don't give you the space.
They don't.
And I think that's been the problem. Germany have been trying to find the space. Like they're like, oh, we broke out, we've gone to the side, and then like, oh, we're pinned.
We can put it like this: you cannot play on, you cannot bank on playing on the enemy's mistakes, especially if the enemy don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been the thing where Germany hoped that maybe they would do something that they could utilize, like they could take advantage of. There's just been nothing to take.
And Russia do seem to be very good at using like a sweeper system effectively.
Oh yeah,
people just spread out scouting. Here's the squads, the teams. You can see obviously for Russia and Germany, a lot of big players in there. Kissick cleaning up in the last game. Wanderer actually picked up quite a few kills inside that compound as well. Felix also came in and tried to sweep them through. So pretty close game overall. The kills don't really tell the story because obviously it ended up pretty high in Russia's favour, but it was pretty down close for a while when Germany managed to take the compound. But then the circles shifted over to the east, and over to the west, and then that was the end of the story for Germany.
Yeah, they ended up in a position which I don't think they ever wanted to be in, but they ended up in an area where they pretty much needed a double or triple hard shift east. Like they needed to be able to stay on the east side of the hill they had fought for in the beginning of the game, and circle by circle that just became like less and less of an option.
Just trying to see G2. Zoizel's in there now. So the G2 manager is now playing, it seems.
Yeah,
I didn't notice he was in there. Hasn't been killed yet.
I mean, when his players can't do it, he got to do it, right? Manager, come on, guys, step it up.
I got this. I got this, boys. Okay, then. Well, obviously G2 are going to go up to El Al-Zahar because, you know, I've never seen them go anywhere else, so maybe we'll see where they do adjust. Looks like it is going to be an east-west. Germany over to the eastern side, Russia to the west, unless some of the squads decide to go elsewhere.
A little bit of a rainbow in the middle, but other than that, it does seem to be pretty east-west committed, and it has been across both Erangel and Vikendi as well. So no big surprises in that regard. It does, though. I mean, it looks maybe it could be more north to south, to be fair.
Yeah, this one is actually, judging by the way they're swinging, apart from way over Montinueva way.
Las Leones Circle.
It's a fight for Pozo, I think, by the looks of it.
This is where you get your Lost Circle. I don't think I've ever had a city ending in Nations before.
No, that would be epic.
It would also be horrible.
Yeah.
So many. Imagine how much friendly fire that would be.
Yeah.
It'd just be nothing but reacting around the corner, and you'd constantly take out teammates.
Okay, Pozo's Russia, that's for sure. Oh, Melman, what you doing, son? Yeah, don't want to be dropping
scouting.
He's got all the information he needed.
His glider,
forcing them all into Death Valley. Ooh. And hello.
If Germany wanted to have a chance at a comeback, this is going to be their chance.
The problem is, with Circle 1 and Miramar, it's not impossible to try and zone a team out this early on.
Yeah, it's a tough task, especially because if you try to zone out a team, especially being Russia, but it doesn't really matter. If you try to zone out 32 players, you will be spread pretty thin to try and figure out where they breach from. And by the time they then come to you, you won't have the manpower to take the fight to them.
That's the one use of the VSS. Just try. Why not? Try and have a couple of pot shots in the air. Melman and Marco still waiting each other out. Marco's managed to find himself a mini.
You think he's yelling, Marco?
Polo!
You don't think Marco then responds?
Maybe.
Maybe.
No helmet for Melman.
No. Not optimal. And I would assume that Marco knows that Melman landed with him. I don't know. I mean, they did fly right next to each other for quite a while. You can see him Melman as well. You would just take for granted that it is kind of on the border of Russia. Like this is checkpoint Charlie essentially, and you would assume that at some point soon either one of the two teams gets some sort of backup coming in their way.
But Marco's on his own. There's no way. Nobody else is going to come and help him.
Because
that's like pushing across. Unless Yanis comes over, but I'm not sure.
There are two guys in a vehicle, Kovo +1, driving in his direction now. So it could be that they're going down there.
I'm not sure. I think he's going to get left there. Oh, no. Maybe. No. Okay, there's support from Russia coming. That's for sure.
Yeah. And that looks like 3 cars. One of them with 3 players in it. It seems like they don't want to let go of Melman just yet.
Yeah, they can't overcommit. So now Germany can take the mountain spot and catch these driving in, but I think they're a little too late on that. Deep Haruzen and Snoopy going to come around the side. So now Marco, it's all on you. He's got a shotty. Pump action ready to go.
Nate's thrown forward. Taken down to 13, gets the first one, oh my lord, I thought he had the second as well. It looked like he got the shot off, but didn't happen.
Yeah, he basically took, 85 health hit from that grenade. If that hadn't have happened, I think almost certainly would have popped both heads, yeah.
Oh, goodbye.
Yeah, I think, did someone on the hill get knocked as well?
It looks like it.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Looks like someone on there. That was actually Kobo, and they're responding. Yeah, that was the assistants coming in, but seems like Kobo and that guy here didn't.
I think it's pin and set. Or something like
someone guessed Gen G.
And Koa down. It was Koa. I guess that was the.
He should have had the pan that actually blocks bullets. Maybe we would have survived.
That's it. Yeah, because that one doesn't, does it?
I've heard at least.
Yeah.
Could have been fixed by now. I would assume so too. But
you'd hope so.
You never know. You never know. Brax. Just on the northern side of Power Grid, having to come to terms with being 1 player down from the get-go. And, of course, that's not optimal. But then again, they do have the circle. So they should have their hopes high, even though when you just lost.
It's got to be a worry.
3 guys in 1 car.
Yeah, and again, this is what I was saying. I think my choice would have been to just say, sorry, buddy. You are too far away from everyone else. You're in that compound, which is very hard for us to back up because everybody's... They knowing damn well Russia had lots of people in Pozo. They lost 2 players for not a lot.
I mean, I'm thinking Russia needs to somehow transport 31 people to a circle. They cannot just go through bumpy fields with all of them. They need to use roads to some extent. So if you're Germany, do you set up shop around San Martin, around Hacienda, and around maybe water treatment to prevent them to go in? Or do you just say, you know what, we'll let them come into the first one, we'll center up now so that when Circle 2 pops, Hulk Jesus won't give them a circle?
Indeed. Yeah, they're trying to center up. They want some love from Hulk Jesus, and we'll see whether it can work out.
They need it.
I mean, not so much center up, but deeply cover, so sort of like water treatment, where they are at the moment. You can see Rax and Co. And then maybe even cut across to, say, the hills like Junkyard Way or something like that. So just cut a line, effectively, of like, this is the line in the sand. You are not going to cross it. You are going to be kept in that little corner.
It does seem like I don't think the entirety of the Russian team will go north around. It does seem like they're committing to a split.
North-south split, yeah.
It's not something we see executed too often. There was, I'm trying to think back, there was one team that every single game tried to split up and they always got killed because of it. Like, they never timed their engagements because then the fight happens a bit further south, close to the south team, so the north team was never near at time, right?
Yeah.
If you can make it perfect and you know they're sitting in the very center and you can hit at the same time, that's perfect, but it's too hard to predict, and it does seem like...
To coordinate as well.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible to coordinate when you don't have the info that you need. And it does seem like Russia, to some extent, will focus on going north around.
Yeah, just collecting the vehicles. Everybody, there's a lot of Russians in the blue at the moment that are trying to commit to going north. Now, if they can hit that main road, La Cabrera, they can have a free run-in. There's nobody up there for Germany at all. There are a couple of scouts. I can see Yanis go up on the hill. Now, the circle is favorable. The new circle is favorable to... Russia, Hacienda, San Martin. So it has hard shifted down to the southeast, which will help Russia. But it does mean that all these are committed to this northern run now. For La Cabrera, all have to come back down again. And Germany will be way ahead of them.
And this is where Germany could maybe try and hold off, because they have to expect that push to be coming in at some point. I mean, you can see Vorix, you can see these guys sitting out by El Sahar trying to hold off.
Germany screwed up. They've just allowed, what's his name? Chicho Crazy. In this compound here. Pity has to get to this compound. They have to win this, but he's too late.
I don't
Too late. They've allowed him to get in there. He might be able to get in scot-free. But look at this. The Russia have got to this compound. This was the compound they should have been in early. Dranis and co are already here. Krabik's here. Germany are coming in on force. This is the fight. This is where it's all going to happen.
Yeah, very much looks so. And if they can do this fast, now, of course, that's not the way we want to start it, losing 2 players immediately. But if they can execute this fast, there's a big chunk of Russian players that are nowhere near yet.
Yeah, Germany have the numbers advantage, but the question is, will they lose a lot of players? Russia are going to have probably about 16 players here in the next couple of minutes. Germany have to pull their forces in fast, and they're not.
Yeah.
Nobody's reacting from Germany.
They need to split. That's pretty much what Brexco said. They want to take the fights in bundles. This is the chance to do it. And as you said as well, Demon, very correctly stated so, they're just not committing to it.
They're not moving.
No.
They're not moving. There's a squad over still at North Hacienda. Nobody's moved.
Oh,
They've not committed to it. And they're actually going to get wrapped around from water treatment.
Yeah.
Looks like he's just going to, commit. He's gone
out.
Down.
He's out.
Dranis has finally gone down. There are players up on the hillside, but Russia have just beaten them away. And that compound is the one they should have been fighting for, because it gives such a massive, wide area of view over this entire circle. It is such a strong point, and Russia knew it, and they've got there, and Germany have just made a massive mistake not taking that.
Yeah, they do. They are still pretty split. Russia, they have, once again, it's Millman, it's Heroes, and it's all these players up on the northern side, and the circle does center up, and this is going to be a massively compound favorite end game. And in all fairness, Germany has, well, we can count it up right now, 4 of them under control.
Yeah, I still feel that
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. This is going to be a breach game.
Russia have got Hacienda, and they've got the compounds that are all going to be around the edges of Hacienda. They have the entire south thing. Now, the only thing that can save Germany, in my opinion, from now, is it has to go north. If it goes south, they are absolutely screwed. If it
north
centers,
is going to be scary.
They're kind of screwed. Yeah, the north is even losing out. And this has been Russia's sort of
their
optus memorandum. They've always had these guys around the back, a squad of some players. Is it the same ones? Yes, it is. It's Batulin, it's Set, it's Haruzen, it's Trash, it's Snoopy, the Melman. These are all the same players, same squad. They are the sheep herders. They are the ones that just push Germany, prod them, poke them, give all the information, get them into the position they want, and the big hammer of Russia comes in front and squats them down.
I hope that Spike has been taking notes on everything he's seeing here, because looking at how they played earlier today, I think going up against a team that has this sheep herder strategy within it is very hard to counter.
Yeah.
Like, either you have to do the same to their team, or you somehow have to block it off. But the downside is, once Germany then commits to taking the fight north, the pack, whoom, just comes up and corners them, and then they pin them in. So how do you counter an 8-team stack on the northern side?
Yeah, I mean...
you need to hold the others off while killing them.
You either see it coming or you have to react quicker, and Germany so far have just been sluggish in their reactions. And actually what I'm seeing right now is them slowly pulling away. That middle compound can get overrun now. It's at the point where it could get overrun. Yeah, I can see what they're trying to do.
5 players there.
They're trying to pull players back to deal with this back squad.
They want to deal with the sheep.
But then they're going to lose this middle bit. Look at Russia. Russia are looking at it. The only problem is where Falkenko is. That's pretty tricky to scout, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And it's actually favourable. But now that could get overrun. Russia could push that.
What do you prioritize?
Russia would realise.
They will.
So these guys at the back are going to say, we are surrounded. There is a lot of players here. So there can't be that many in that squad. And then Dranis is going to say, I've got 3 squads of players down here at Hacienda. Push it.
Send it.
Push it. Yeah, it's like,
Davai.
No, yeah, divide. No matter how many you think you've got, we can overwhelm you.
It's going to have to happen. It's going to have to happen soon, because right now Germany is putting all their eggs in one basket, and that's deal with the northern teams. And right now they are dealing with them, and there isn't much of a response coming in from the remaining Russian forces. But then again, it is also a breach where you have to go through a 300-meter open field first. It's a scary push. It's a scary play to make. There's a chance.
Brex is piling back, gets himself a crate. There's 2 crates for Germany here that they could possibly have. They've sent and commit a lot of people to this back area squad. They've got to deal with them. They've got to deal with them quick. Set and Edelweiss. Edelweiss is wrapping around. I assume Krabik's probably with him. Germany are sort of backtracking at the moment almost, and heading back to the little compound and making sure they've got it reinforced.
I mean, Germany has the circle, essentially.
Yeah.
Germany has the circle. It's Russia's trip here. Like, they need to make a play somewhere.
They have it, but they don't have a good area.
There's no good areas.
There is no good areas in this circle. That's the point. Yeah. So while they have it, it could potentially get overrun. Neither sort of side can reinforce each other that well. But if they were to commit and push,
you would still say those, like the compound and the northeast side ridge, which they has to play around, has to be the only two playable areas in a 32v32 map.
And I'm not convinced that these guys in the top here. This is the southern squad. They're getting ready to move. They're going for that
crash.
compound.
They're sending it now.
They're sending it. Okay, so this is, I think, 2 squads possibly coming in for this one. So this is actually going to be a pretty even fight. It should be in terms of numbers. But Germany are too slow to react. They've got Kamikaze out. They've got Melman out. But Russia are in.
Germany is fighting on 2 fronts right now, and Russia has just committed everything to this engagement. Hagajack holding off, 1 HP. He has a reload. He does go down.
Yeah, Tab manages to take him down. Krabic and Co coming in. The rest of Germany are pulling away from the hill, and they still not dealt with this northern compound. So they pulled to get to the north. They've given up. They're trying to reinforce. They're too low, too slow, and Russia are in. And now Germany are falling left, right, center. They don't know what's happening.
Russia read this one perfectly. And as you said, Demon, they were saying, guys, we have them all coming up towards us right now. You damn better go take that compound, because if not, then it's going to be us falling down. And now the sheep herders can start herding again.
Yeah, and they are just from the north. They are just slowly pushing. And it's just pulled Germany away. Germany have lost this. They've lost this game.
It is going to be very difficult.
They gave up too much ground.
It is going to be very difficult for them to manage to make this one. But then again, they do have strong players. Let's not count them out just yet. It is a deficit of 7 so far. It looks grim.
They've got strong players, but they're players that are fighting with their backs to the wall all the time. They've never been on the front foot. Like they keep overreacting. Is what they're doing. They're overreacting to that squad, to Platoon.
They're essentially doing what we thought that they would try and bait Russia.
Yeah. They've absolutely been slaughtered.
They're falling for the bait every time the sheep herders make a move. They overcommit to try and hold them off, and then the actual force or the actual task force comes in and makes life miserable.
And this all goes back to the slow response. If they'd have took that compound that Draenus went into, they had way more numbers in terms of squads. They could have committed and overwhelmed and made sure it was theirs. Instead, they sat individually, 4 over here, 4 over there, 2 over here, 3 over there. They're all over the shop. Instead, they just didn't commit. Russia piled in 1, and then they started to commit a second squad, and they only backed away when they realized we've already got it. And if they'd have got that spot, Russia wouldn't have been able to stage this attack onto that warehouse area.
Brendan Green and Hulk Jesus united and said, this is the game where we give Germany the circles. But Russia says, we don't care about that because we have the power to push through and take it. And they have. And they have done it very, very, very impressively. So Edelweiss pushing over the top. Should be able to find Kane in a moment. This is, they have enough pawns to push forward to get this win.
They're all just on the hillside. Nothing they can do about it. They're all on the edge. Russia have all the numbers advantage, and they will just finish this one out. 5 Russian, German players remain. Make that 4 as Sane goes down. And, well, I would say, obviously, we always have the advantage of seeing the overall picture, but I think both teams realized the situation at that compound. Draenus absolutely realized it and committed his players to it.
Oh yeah.
But we could see the weakness instantly. They just committed so many to go back to the north to just deal with that squad of 8 players. They didn't get a single person from that squad.
They did get 1, I believe, but that's really
of an 8-man squad.
Exactly.
And they committed 2 squads to get there.
Yeah.
So 16 players committed to go get those 8 players, and they got 1 player.
So in short,
and then turned around and panicked, and all.
Which is too late.
Yeah, the problem is that they didn't commit and stay on that hill. They then went, oh, we're getting pushed in the field. Oh, let's get back across and reinforce. And then just ignore the 8 players that you've just tried to push. It's just...
So while Russia was busy killing their players, Germany was kind of highwaying
they were back and forward
between A and B.
That's
and
what
they
I
never
was saying.
committed to one fighting.
Oh, that's why they always had their backs to the wall, because they were like, oh, we got to commit over here. Oh, we got to commit, come back over here. And then just like in that transition, which is the worst thing you can ever do in PUBG, is get shot while you're driving. And that's what happened. They probably lost like 4 or 5 people just driving there.
To go back to the talk from before, what's the counterplay to the sheep herder tactic that Russia is doing?
No, they needed to react quicker at the start when they lost that Draenus battle.
Yeah.
Like all of that played out wouldn't have happened if they won that compound, because then this squad that pushed this area here wouldn't have been there. Sure, the sheep herders came around eventually, but they didn't care. We've got the center points. We don't care about that hillside. We can have it will consolidate into these two major compounds.
It was looking to go, or at least potentially go, Germany's way this one, but Russia once again find good tactical use, and I guess they threw out the bait, and Germany just grabbed it by the hook, and unfortunately it was the wrong hook they bit on.
Great bait, mate. This is the way it is. This was the Russian push, and you've got a question. Where were all the guns pointing out? They knew that the threat was going to come from south. There was really nobody.
It's a 300-meter open field drive. You would expect some bullets to be flying their way while they came driving, but nothing really happened.
Nothing. They just rolled up.
Yeah.
And yeah,
didn't go the way of the Germans.
I mean, I can only imagine what happened was that obviously there was a massive communication fail, and they felt that the majority of Russia were in the north. So I think what they expected was the squad that they lost to, Drainage squad, they probably thought, oh, there's 2 squads here. Oh, there must be 2 squads north, which is why they committed so much.
Yeah.
And it's just simple miscommunication in numbers. Because when you see 8 players, you're like, oh, there's loads of players in the north.
Team.
Yeah, you're like, there's a sort of panic mode. So if somebody's quickly reported that, saying, oh, there's loads of people up here, it can quickly miscommunicate and quickly get out of control and over-reinforce. And then as soon as you've done that, you've lost that position.
It's the calls in PUBG. It's like, oh, he's 1 HP, he's 1 HP.
Yeah.
Even
safe rest. Oh, so
there's many
a squad
here.
of 4.
There's many here. Seems like that was the killing call.
Yeah.
If that was the case.
There is many. Anyway, it's 3-0 to Russia, and a fairly decisive victory at that, despite the fact Germany had the circle. We're going on to the 4th map after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GLL Nations Royale. It is 3-0 to Mother Russia over the fatherland Germany. Looks like the mother's going to win this one.
Don't they always?
That is true. I'm Dion, this is Toby. And I got to be honest, it was a sluggish bit of gameplay from Germany that's costing them, in my opinion. Russia just seem to commit, and the shepherds, as we've been calling them, the squad that's going around the back, which often does not work. Often, but this time they seem to do it really well.
They baited the hell out of them.
Just bait, just probe, get a couple of shots here and there, and pull 2 squads of Germans towards them that did nothing. And
they rotated.
And then they said, yes, we've pulled a lot of people to us. In goes Russia.
Yeah. I think, and it's going to sound weird, but I think one of the main issues for Germany that game was that they had too much space. Like, they had too many of the priority areas available, and they couldn't settle. They couldn't settle. Had they just from the very start, I mean, you talked about the drainage compound, even if they didn't go there at all, had they just said, we will take the hill, we will take this compound, that's what we're going to focus on. If the circle goes away, we'll move. Favorable, those are our points. They kept going, we want all of it.
Right?
And it kind of fell apart.
Even that compound, they could have just said, all right, they're going that compound, we'll take the hill above it. And then we'll just spatter them from the hill.
Wait for it.
Yeah. And we'll just take them from there, but no.
They wanted it all, and they ended up with nothing.
So Sanhok coming up.
Yeah.
These are the players, which is going to come up eventually. We're having a little issue. There we go. There they are. It is, of course, a squad full of highly skilled players. There's no doubt about it. Highly skilled players on both sides. We're having a remake in Sanhok, so we can have a look at the kills for a little bit longer here. Pretty even overall. Russia did dominate. It got a little close, but honestly, from a tactical point of view, it was not close.
No, they were up 20-4 and started kind of just throwing themselves at them because they all wanted the pound.
Zerglings.
Yeah. What is that game that you used to play where you had to like make a track? And then once you press start, all the thingies start running. Lemmings. That's essentially what happened. They all wanted to like lemming their way over to the kill.
I remember the game tune. And
you do remember it?
Dun, 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 and you'd send them and they'd all be like off the cliff. There you go.
When you messed up. And the worst part was, it was a little sadistic too. When you realized you had messed something up along the way and you couldn't stop it, you just had to sit there and watch them all die. Don't do it! And they all fall off and die.
Classic game. Nobody has a clue what we're on about because that was an old game. That was an old game, but the thing is, there's nothing like that these days. Like that was a legendary game, like Lemmings. I love that game.
I feel like there is. It's just like the idea of it has been taken and is now being done in different ways.
Yeah, I guess.
I played a mobile game where you had to like do an aqueduct, like with you had a guide water through, and then when it messes up, so that's kind of the same game.
Yeah, that has lots of
but you don't kill small cute thingies.
No, that's it.
Their only life purpose is to walk forward.
You had 100 lemmings, and you had to get as many through
the door
to a door, basically. And there's lots of little drop-offs and bit like that, water and stuff. And they'd die. If you couldn't control them, they would just walk, and if there was a gap, they would just fall and die. So you had to save as many as you could.
I used to play that game when I was in school, where you would draw, like it was essentially just a paint game. You draw a line with a pencil, and then when you press start, this guy in a bobsled comes on your line, and then he rides on the bobsled.
There's a bunch of mobile games like that.
No, it was just PC game. Like you draw a line with a pencil, and then when you press start, it like
you have to. It's school a while ago. What I'm saying is they now work on mobile. Those games.
You can do those on phones.
You can do those on phones.
What?
Indeed. There's a remake, which is why we're just waiting. But it's going to be Sandhawk now.
Yeah.
Last time we saw Finland absolutely screw the pooch on this map. Back off the high ground multiple times like they did.
Yeah.
And this time around, Germany going to have something. They had the circle this time. The circle was that there was literally no excuse in that last game.
No.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they also, I mean, just to go back to that little Finland talk, they did what, because I didn't expect them to win even earlier than that, but then we're like, oh my god, they're actually going to win this one. And then they didn't. Crossing water on Sandhawk is a death sentence. Finland did it, and it worked. They got to claim land on the other side.
They were given
the circle went southwest, and they claimed territory on the southwest, but then did nothing with it and ended up losing the game. So I'm thinking now, whichever team, should it be Germany, who gets the benefit of sitting on the right island, with the circle going towards them, you damn better hold out Russia, because we saw the Vikendi game. If they get any slimmer of a chance, the Russian players, to hold you out, they're going to literally sit players like they don't care where it is. If there's a rock, they're going to look at the map and go, you are now on the edge of the white line. You will stand here until there's no German player inside.
Well, I mean, it's do or die for Germany, right? You either win this game or you're playing tomorrow against the Czech Republic. And honestly, I got to be honest, I'd favour the Czech Republic at the moment. They have looked pretty good and quick responsive, quick reactive to tactics, very good at scouting, clearly good at communicating. For me, maybe it's because Russia are doing so well. Maybe it's because Russia is so good. We don't know. We don't really know on this one. But Germany just feels sluggish in comparison to Russia.
I was going to say, it is hard, though, to compare anyone with a team like Russia that does this well. I want to compare Russia and Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Because I think they do a lot of the similar things. And Russia has never, to my understanding, beat Turkey. But
3-0 Czech Republic. Yeah. Czech Republic beat Turkey.
Huh.
We will see.
It could be a good final.
We'll see.
Unless if Germany prevails tomorrow and beats
who's the one man then? The one Russian remaining to join.
It's not Drainus this time around.
No, it's not. I can see him there.
Had it been a squad game, I could probably have told you. But now that we're waiting for 1 out of 32, let me just list off all the players.
It's the scout squad, right? Is it? Oh no, it's not.
No, it's not. That's Melman. That's
Melman.
That's Team 3, the herders.
Team 3, they're the herd. The sheep herders.
The player herders. Because they herd them, you know?
The herd.
They herd them. Herd.
Well,
are we going to start without him?
We're just going without you, mate. You know what?
That's what it takes.
Germany have got an advantage. Germany got a one-man advantage. Is this the time?
I mean, they had a circle advantage for the entire last game. I feel like that's a bigger advantage than one-man advantage.
But they also committed to they lost 2 people, right? They had 1 stuck in the compound, lost 1 on the hill, and maybe lost 2 on the hill. I'm not too sure. But so they lost players early on, Germany. And again, I disagree with that play. That's if that was a squad game and something like that, you just say you lost, mate. You're too slow. But for some reason, because they got 32 players, they committed to it. It's like no, just you've lost, cut your losses.
Are you the type of guy that when you sit at home and watch a game of football, you always coach the players on the TV?
Look, I've just
why don't you do this?
I just watched Liverpool win the Club World Cup at the same time as this, and I was stopping myself saying them things as the match was going on.
That was the ultimate test.
The ultimate test was when I saw Oxlade-Chamberlain get injured during a push by Germany. That was the ultimate test right there.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm sure
he just had an 11-month injury. And he's just come back from injury.
Well, maybe
so if he just got injured again, I'm going to be really angry. But anyway, Sandhawk. PUBG. That's what we're talking about.
And now I don't know why, but I feel like every time we get Sanok in this game mode, it always goes east. Or like it commits to one island really early. But could you imagine the triangle of death
it goes on the top
type scenario, or even just the northwest island if it commits up there? Because there's no land ratio things, so it doesn't have to go into those specific areas.
You mean if it goes in the
but if it goes like right
river?
west of boot camp,
yeah,
and it never really commits until very late, where normally the games here end around phase 4, phase 5. If it just keeps committing to we want water in the middle.
But that's the beach as well, isn't it? Or just that or the little island. The little island.
Oh, I mean, not gonna get. I don't think we'll ever get that late in the game.
We can only hope.
One could only hope. Yeah. But there is gonna be 4 set match points essentially for Russia. And even though I want to say Germany can sweep it back, because they did sweep it back against Greece, and the map they started their sweep on was Sanok. That was when it all started turning around. I'm just not thinking Russia. I mean, Russia could throw one. They could maybe even throw 2. But I'm not seeing, with the way Russia's been playing against Germany right now, I'm not seeing them throw 4 games in a row.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think
it's gonna be it's gonna be difficult.
I'm very interested to see where they're going to be dropping here, to see who's going to take control of like the quarry area and that sort of centralish area.
True.
But as we said, this is different server settings. This is not the standard super settings that we'd be using in there. There is no pull from water or anything like that.
The one is a lot smaller too.
Yeah, and it's a lot quicker.
That too.
A lot quicker. So it basically speeds the Nations Royale up. That's the point is, and I think it's working very well because obviously we had a lot of slow periods. But here we go. The bird is in the air and away we go. Let's see. Coming in for landing across the coastline, and it is going to be Germany and Russia going Germany north, Russia south.
You say that, but there are some German players who are kind of following Memo, Asriel, First Lady is going somewhat in that direction too. It seems to me like Germany is going, we want Northwest and Southwest Island. We'll let Russia take the Eastern Island. But as I say that, they also put players to the Eastern Island. So now I'm just not going to say anything anymore because I'm clearly wrong. Have we just gone full YOLO mode and the only thing that Germany is really committed to is the Northwestern Island?
This is okay. So there's one in ruins who is surrounded. Set's on his own, but this is
Stim's just got the entirety of ruins to himself. But he has like 7 German players around him.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's even committing to get him though. I mean, so Camp Alpha and everything around that island is Germany's. I mean, you can see South of Quarry is also Germany's, but everything in the middle is kind of Russia.
Clearly, Russia has gone with we want river control. We take Painan, we take boot camps, we have access towards the west, which I don't think Aliyah he's going up to the northern camp. I thought it was actually in the water.
There's a lot of people there.
And now Nellis has found himself a player. And Drishka gone down. That's 2 up to Germany to start off the game. And look at that circle, D-Man. That one, if it doesn't have Germany written all over it, I don't know. I feel like we deserve to look at the map no matter what Nellis is doing right now. Because this one, if you don't win this game, if you had it last game, if you don't win this one, there's one player, look, count to 10. There is 0 players from Russia inside this circle right now. If you don't bring this one home, it's going to be hard. But I'm looking at boot camp where essentially half the Russian team is. Yatrox is alone in holding them. If Drainius goes, guys, we go west and we go west now. There's no way in hell Germany can do nothing to establish a beachhead and prevent them from crossing.
The question is, will they do it?
They have to. They have to understand. Like, they have to know that there's nothing to loot down there.
Edelweiss is already heading that way.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing to loot on that side of the map other than that one compound. And Germany won't have 6 players sitting there now. Like, if they want to cross, they're crossing now. And they have to. This is a perfect read.
Russia are coming.
Really good read.
The question is, will they get responded quick enough? Edelweiss is already in the water, heading across. This is the Wanderer. Where's this one? This is down south. This is
way down south,
but Poco is making a run away from that one. So Mimo effects there. But Edelweiss and Co are already in the river. They're already in the water, going across from boot camp. This is the scout team for Russia.
Yeah. This essentially becomes the military game situation from last game where Russia had players on Millie, but they also had players in Severny. And the military players needed to kind of stand strong and hold off until the Severny came. Like, the Severny players came around. If you look down to Marco and the guys down in Ducks and Kampong, they will never get up to that island in time before that fight will escalate. So they need to somehow, like the German players needs to keep giving space for the Russians, for these players to make their way up, unless if they will stand strong and try to take the fight to them.
So Brexico and Kaigod are holding the northern bridge, or certainly that sort of that little crossroads. They're trying to get as much information as they can, but I don't think what they realise is just how many have gone across from boot camp already. Yeah, and coming up from Point Anne, they're all going to be across. And Germany they're trying to cover. Look, they're covering the bridges. They don't care about the bridges. They've come across the river,
and they're crossing. On
Is Yadrok's aware of this? He's the one that was nearby. And Russia are in.
They can't see them. And the thing is, they can't see them because the hillside that they can take control of, you don't really have vision down in that area. There's so many trees. The compounds are pretty condensed down there. It's really on the northern side. That's where you see the open plains around the hillside. This is extremely, well, I guess you can say foliage,
so,
if that's a word.
If I'm not mistaken, where Russia are, they can literally keep on going on a diagonal path and they're going to get the point of the hill. If I'm not mistaken, there is a way up.
There's no, like, they won't
Germany
have to
have not got
any
anybody up there at the moment. They should be committing people up that hill. This is what we're talking about. They can go straight up, and once you're up the top of that hill, it's nigh on impossible to get someone out of it. And they just get straight in there. There's nobody from Germany here yet.
No. It is right now there's a big old red carpet lined out for the Russians to come say hello.
They're a little slow getting over, I would say. They've got people over and they're a little slow. So Hackerjack and Phalanx have actually gone up on that hill now.
I think they want to get all the players up before they cross, like before they're really spearheaded. And now they're across. Now they have a beachhead. Now they wait for the rest to come and then they push.
Yeah. And that's okay. They've engaged. Hackerjack and Co have been engaged up on the hillside. So there's shots back and forth. So now that Germany are aware that there are people already across the river. That's adventurous.
That's like, what is it, skating in half pipes?
Yeah.
That's creative. I like the idea. No tricks, no crazy spins, but a little 180 was given nonetheless.
Oh man, Russia are just pouring over the river now.
And the thing is, I mean, I like the play. I don't think half of them has more than an SMG and a helmet and no vest on. They ran out of boot camp as soon as they saw that circle. And I think it's a call from Drainies as well that, guys, we need to get across before they establish any any sort of control. And they have succeeded in doing so. So kind of mission 1 has been checked off.
Oh, that's going to be just a couple that are passing by. Oh, Final Ghost trying to respond. Drag gets one down, gets the second down. Snoopy also picked off by Makato.
Whoops.
These are, that was bad.
It happens, it happens. Don't want to lose Snoopy because of it. You'll be able to get rest as well, but that's, of course, a little bit of a whoopsie.
But this is Russia taking full control of the southern island.
Yeah, essentially.
They have pumped across. Gideon and, is it Tripson? They're the only two that are now remaining on that south side. So now, this entire squad of Germans down south that are coming up from the ruins area, they're not going to get across because Russia have got control of that south bridge.
Yeah, they will have to take the fight to them from that side and then have the pressure from the... Like, they need to pincer them now, but I haven't really seen Russia try, nor... not Russia, Germany try nor succeed in doing that. And as fun as this vehicle is, in the water it goes like 30 kilometers. I think it can run faster than that thing sails.
Yeah.
It goes like 30 kilometers an hour in the water, so it's going to be a solid 3 minutes before he gets to the North Island.
Nemo Effect's just watching him going, it's like, I can just outrun you on this one.
Yeah, he's literally running faster than the vehicle is moving in the water.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
But he's like, it'd be great if it works.
Yeah. It would be. You can see Russia, they've taken the middle plateau. I like to talk of like this northwestern island as a layer cake of 3. Yeah. You have the bottom where you have the Camp Alpha, and then you have the middle layer where Russia is, and then you have the mountain top up where Mika and Hackerjacker and the rest of them are. So Russia has taken control of the middle layer, as you can see. And
another flare just went up.
And they're sitting pretty well in it because they will now have access to both points. But if the German players want to go up and help people on top, they have to fight their way through Russia first.
Oh, hello.
A lot of buttons being pressed at the same time.
Yeah. Panic! There is another flare. That's what we were looking for. There it is.
The cinematic shot of the flare.
Yes.
This is the closest we get to Michael Bay in PUBG.
There's going to be a big explosion in a minute.
The Michael Bay lens flares.
Well, Hackerjack's been knocked. That's up on the top there. I don't think Russia will probably push this. Take control just yet. They are slowly in, but I'm still I mean, we said it, right? If Germany's going to win a game, this is it. But I think they've lost it. I think they've just been lazy and slow.
I'm not going to call them out on it yet because this, like, with shifts, this game could still dictate a lot. If it goes northeast here, it's I like the idea of taking him out, but you are now in between 9 players, and they all know where you are.
Yeah, but he is just the man that's holding
trade
it back.
1. I mean, if you can trade 1 for 1, it's essentially somewhat worth, and as soon as you get 2 for 1, you've done your job to some extent, especially when the score is as tied up as it is right now. But I like the fact that Russia has access to all 3 layers of the layer cake that I was just talking about in the mountain, where if Germany wants to help their teammates, they need to wrap all the way north around, because they've just lost their... Like, they've lost the elevator,
well, the Shepherds are on the west side, and they're sweeping around, and Kissik's got a second. Let's go down now.
That's worth for him, then.
Yeah, no, he's... So, if you haven't noticed, basically, he's got this test guy over and Pin over the side, so he's the one that's on the riverbank. He's the one that pops up, does them, gets back down again, and then his teammates take out whoever's coming. Seth's got a cross, by the way.
He gave up on the whole water thing.
It's just
this is too slow!
But there's still an entire squad of Germans stuck near the side of the bridge now.
And they will now turn around to Dovnik and co. and try and hold them off.
Yeah.
Because why not?
And while this is happening, the hill is basically rampant. And it's actually going Germany's way.
It's not just any squad sitting over here, though. It's Giannis, it's Braxco, it's Chris. I mean, there's a lot of good players on this bridge that most likely won't make it across.
Yeah. This is the top squad that dropped down in Quarry.
This is German Shepherds. Haha! See what I did there?
I like it.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it before I said it.
Oh, I like that. I like that one. There is a massive fight happening on the hill, by the way. That's where Germany are actually picking quite a few people off up there. Just getting popped shots off. Russia I think they made an effort to get up. And Germany have taken full control of the ridgeline now.
Yeah.
And Russia are losing players. This is going Germany's way. You can see 10 kills and counting. They have taken down Drainus and co, so they've taken down a big chunk of one of their main squads there.
Yeah, they went middle layer, tried to look up and look down at the same time, and once the players started looking over the ridge to look at the bottom plateau, they lost players. I think, in all fairness, I think Russia has played for next circle. Russia has played for next circle.
Kissik's coming over the bridge behind them all.
Oh yeah, true.
So while they've made the little play, they're pushing over. Kissik's actually coming up behind them as well. So they're trying to hold them off. Snoopy's managed to come down. Kissik's coming over the bridge directly behind them in a second. He might get one. I don't think he'll get more than that.
I think if this next circle goes off the mountain, Russia's going to win it.
Maybe.
Because
Germany
is full-on committed to the top layer. Like, they're full-on committed to the very top of the mountain, and Russia is just taking control of everything else.
They just jump down onto Faultless. Now, if Kissik's on that, he can just pick them off as they come out of the water, surely.
Did they see him? No, I don't think they did.
Marco's kind of looking that way.
Sneak is jumping off there as well. Faultless, if he jumps, like, if he vaults up there, he has 4 players with their backs turned. You can see Kisik shooting now. Gets the knock onto 1. That's Chris gone down immediately. He died to blue last game.
Kisik gets a second. So Kisik basically has got, what, 4 people?
4 knocks in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's worked out on Faultless. He can come in now and pick them all off. Gets another one. Faultlessly takes him down. And Germany are losing quite a few players on this ridgeline. This was the squad.
This is the top tier squad right there.
And there's, what, 2 remaining? Krabik's now on the wraparound on the other side and above them. Wanderer's coming over. So, obviously, the Shepherds, the Russian Shepherds, not to be mistaken
we got
for the German Shepherds.
And the Shepherds.
Yeah.
The Russian sheep herders and the Shepherds.
Krabik and Wanderer are the other side of these guys, yeah. So, Bearbank and co. So, as you mentioned, Russia they lost a lot of players on that hill. I'm not going to lie, they lost quite a few.
They did.
Kisik finally gone. But here's the Wanderer, M249. Here's Bearbank coming.
If this next circle goes west, Germany loses it. They're not going to get down that mountain. They're not going to get down. I really don't believe they have a chance to.
I think Mimo's the only one there. Yeah, he's gone. There we go. So that's the south side cleared out. So Germany just lost themselves. Well, a full squad of 8 players down there. But now, as you say, it's all about the north and the south. If it pulls away from the ridgeline, then Russia are in a good stead. If it goes to the ridgeline, Russia are dead.
The team that gets this circle wins the game. I don't see it go any other way. If it goes, as I said, if it goes up the mountain, it's a clear German win. If it goes downhill, I just don't see Germany being able to get down.
Well, going down's easier than going up.
That is true, but going down is extremely difficult when you have 15 people shooting at you.
Not sure where you're going now, earlier.
Yes,
unless you've got some sort of random hill climbing gear that I don't know exists in this game.
You can get up on that side. It just takes...
It takes a very long time.
It's going to take a while. Most likely the game will be over by the time he spots an opponent, but... Points for effort.
First lady.
It's not like they're behind anyway.
Behind enemy lines.
Well, it's the first lady, you know.
Oh.
The solo scout looking forward, spotted out. That nade might get a knock on return. Nope, not going to happen. New circle. Who is going to win this game? It's not so
That's Germany for
yet.
me. That's Germany because they've still got the big ridge line in it.
Yeah,
Germany can shoot everyone that comes up, and they all have to get to this, obviously, the south building. This is where most of them are going to go to now.
Russia's going to spearhead the south side entry point to this mountain. There's nothing else they can do. Unless if they did, like if they full on commit to alpha, camp all their players inside and wait for a potential western shift next circle, which would be too risky. But then again, they have the buffer of still having 4 games to play. And
there's only one difference at the moment.
Yeah.
It's still very, very close. Oh, is that a
it's a crate.
Is it a flare gun crate?
No. That's the
No, it's
one.
just a drop.
Just a blue and red one, not
with so much stuff in it.
Yeah, it's a triple layer level 3 gear for Russia. It's gonna go right
on the
down
roof.
on the feet of the players there.
Is it? Are you sure it's not gonna go on the roof?
That should be bouncing on just on the side. Right there. Is it like middle layer? They have like the little ramp up there.
Yeah, there is a step
It's a bait though because all the guns can see it. Like all of the German players from the hill can see that spot. But we'll see. We'll see. Circle, as we said, centered up. Germany looking a little north around. I think that's actually not that bad of an idea. You can see
now,
Phil looking up here. They need to be able to get down if they have to.
Is Alia actually up or is he still on the rock face?
No, he's made his way up.
I think he's up. And Melman and now Melman and Trash have actually managed to make the way around. Where's Payne's going? Oh, Payne, you give yourself away there, son.
Elia is the entire Persian army trying to go around the back of Leonidas.
Kaigod's going to see him. Kaigod and Ali are about to meet each other. Payne spotted.
And the thing is, we've seen before how much the German team commits to having one player off. If Alia finds Kai here, I'm scared to see how many players from Germany will have to back off to try and find him, and that could be the Russian push.
So Payne's spotted. Kaigod's just give his position away.
He has no idea.
He's just had shots on Melman.
No idea.
So Kaigod's shot Melman, which means Alia's right on top of him, and I
think Alia is right below him.
Yeah, I think so.
Right? Yeah, because he's running up on the side. Yep, sitting right below.
Yeah.
He's even looking up. He's up there somewhere.
But Trash has got close. Trash has managed to work his way up the ridge line.
Rex just fell off the cliff.
Well, okay.
Hello, Mr. Team Captain. You want a rest? I think he DC. Looking at the way he's moving forward right now. Oh, having your team like click, 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 click. Team captain DCing.
Look at this. Look at the stutter crawl as well.
Yeah, that's a DC person running right there.
Alex is trying.
He's running. He wants to stand in front of him and
I got you, buddy. I got you.
Yeah, no.
Ooh.
The worst thing is Braxtor probably can't reconnect now to the game either.
Yep.
So that's a team captain that can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
Unless if they do like some Discord screen share thing.
That's all right. It's not like it's a game that means anything.
Oh, no, it's true. It's not like they're with a chance to win this one at all. Circle, send it up once more. It really does not want to commit to either the mountain or below. But at this point, with half of Camp Alpha being out, you would have to think that theoretically it's Russia's game. It's Germany's game, but Russia has managed to turn worse games around than this one.
Oh, shot from the side. Sign sees you. So Trash finished off. But now Germany, well, they have to come down a little.
I don't think Germany wants to sit on the top layer anymore. They have to commit to the middle layer. Because the top layer is going to be we can get the kills, but if the circle ever at any point in the game from now on shifts away, we have to jump off and we die.
Yeah, you
could quite literally jump off and die.
And it would just be a drop, yeah.
Yeah.
Wanderers making it work with the M249.
It's a very, very close game. You can see the scores following each other all the way down.
Nice shots.
Hewen. That guy? We can call him Final. He's landed some decent ones.
Still very close. This is going to go down to like a
this could be a
3 or
final
4
circle
kills,
battle, yeah. Normally the games would be over by now, especially on Sanhok. We normally see somewhere between 16 to 19-minute games, and this game just won't really allow for that one crazy skirmish, mainly because of the terrain.
Yeah, and as you say, for Russia, just keep your head down right now.
Oh yeah, just wait it out, wait it out.
Keep your head down. Mailman's managed to get around the back and inside the circle.
Wait for the next circle.
Now, if it does pull to the mountains, obviously Russia are dead. It's as simple as that. But if it pulls away, it's still got the mountains in there. It's not great for Russia here because there's not a lot of cover. There's still a ridgeline that they can hug. But as you can see, they're all having to sweep around to the walls of Alpha.
If we can get a flyover of what's inside the circle, because it's just one big, like it's a football pitch on a slant.
Yeah.
There's no cover for the Russian players at all. And the Germans, they're just going to sit up there. Look at this.
Yeah.
The German players are going to sit on the ridge line and just keep taking shots. And every time they get a player knocked, they'll just crawl back and get rest again. Where the Russians, they don't have any cover from the German.
They found the smallest ridge lines to lie in. That's it. Seems Test is nice and safe inside.
Germany needs to win this game before next couple of circles, essentially. There's 2 shacks and the compound on the northern side that they can play around. And Russia right now, they just have to wait. Like, Russia needs to wait for the circle to go off the mountain.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else they can do. Because this jump-off could potentially kill the German. Look, if they have to jump off here, I think they get knocked from that.
I think so.
They can't get down. And because right now, the only exit is getting into the blue.
Hackerjack's trying to look at dropping down here. They want to try and
you get knocked there. You get knocked if you jump off.
I think so.
So Germany just has to hide. Right now, you can see there are 4 people inside that small shack. They're just waiting for the circle to go away from the mountain.
So Corey just dropped down. Corey just dropped down on the back there.
Okay, so there you can go off.
Kaigod got down as well. So he's dropped down as well. So Kaigod and Corey at the back. But Corey was
found a track. Santa's found a track.
Corey was in the blue, or just outside. He's about to bump into Tess.
This is so crazy. 12 seconds to go until what I would assume to be the final circle, even though it's not the actual final circle, but I would assume it will be the final, to pop and reveal itself. It goes east. That's going to be game over. It goes down the mountain, and this is what Russia's been waiting for all game long.
There is still a little bit for Germany to hang on to. There's still the tip. And Germany are all going to stack 14 man on the tip. And Russia have to wait.
They just need to wait. They just need to wait for the final circle to go way off the cliff. As long as players can sit up there, they can't do anything. They need to wait for them to come off, and unfortunately they have to allow for them to jump down too.
Rax has got down.
Yeah, a couple of them have jumped off.
He's going to get the revive on Sane, and that means it's going to get a couple in there. Phil's just popped down.
Next circle, 15 seconds. Russians are waiting. The Germans are...
Is it enough pitch? That's looking good. Oh, in your face, son.
That's a level 3 geared player gone down too. Germany, they need to get as much as they can because they know once they're down here, it's an even playing field. Yeah, they all need to get off now.
They've got enough, but Russia are finding them. Kaigod gets picked off, Sane gets down. Wanderer's there with an M249, going to spray them down as much as he can.
It's the funnel.
And Corey comes down. They're trying to do what they can. The circle all goes to Russia. It's Germany that have to try and push on down. Can they get enough down? Wanderer's gone. They managed to finish him off as Corey goes down. Rax is on the flank. He's trying to get around the side there. I don't really know how many it's standing. Pin deep. Melman, faultlessly. They're all split for Russia, but you can see Germany. They're pouring it.
The circle is pushing forward. The Germans need to continue moving. And right now, Melman tap faultless. Stims as well. Getting points on this one.
Oh, there's so many Germans still alive, but you can see Russia, they're down to very little at the moment, but look at it! Russia are starting to collect the kills!
They're getting them! They're winning this!
Melman around the side, the Russians are coming out on top, and this could be a 4-0 clean sweep! And Russia just have one standing. I think it's Sane.
No, Sane is alone! It's a 2v1. Sane is alone versus Melman, and I believe Pin further down. No, Stab is alive, and they win it! Russia waited, and with 3 players alive, take it home.
6-0, yeah. Melman, Faultless, and Tap, and I think
Stims was knocked. Crazy was knocked. It was faultlessly, faultlessly Tap and him there in the end. Wow.
And that was just a case of, like you said, they needed to get more down a little bit earlier. a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe if Brex was there, maybe it would have been okay. Maybe we would give the order and say, okay, we need to get people down there. We don't know. Obviously, the general did disconnect in there. It's a shame, but...
With every circle shift in the end of that game, they lost one exit route.
Yeah.
And they waited to move down till they were all forced through the same one. That allowed for the Russians to just go towards the exact same exit.
Let's face it. It was lost when they allowed Russia to get over the river from boot camp at the very start.
But they also couldn't have done anything against it. Like they couldn't. Like you can loot up so many people in boot camp. But the only place you have to defend against it is one compound.
Yeah, but they said, oh, we're bridge camp. Oh, there's a few more ways into the river.
That is true. That is true. They could have, the Germans could have committed more to cross earlier, but I don't think they could ever have prevented the boot camp teams from
You just needed one guy looking at boot camp. That's all you need. Can I have one person looking at boot camp, please? Okay, they're coming over the river. Right, okay, let's move people.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we get on this island? Where are they going to come from? Bridge, boot camp, little triangle.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call the crossroads. The
little triangle.
The triangle.
Now it's called the little triangle.
The little triangle.
I did not see Russia win this one because Germany really played it smart. But at the same time, Russia knew exactly what they had to do to win it, and they did everything they needed to do. They had to just survive. I mean, we talk about PUBG being a survival game. Russia didn't only fight the blue, and they were just saying, "Come on, give us one circle." They just needed that one circle to go off the mountain, and they knew there would be a chance. But with every single circle keeping Russia in, there would be more and more Russian players falling off, with Germany continuously getting the circles.
Mailman popping off at the end there as well.
Yeah.
6 kills. He's delighted with that, just spraying them down from that rock. And the problem with Germany is they only had that one way down, so they were just funneling into that one spot.
We saw, I think it was in phase 6 when the only flank around got shifted out. They should have pushed 2 or 3 down already then. They should have had some sort of control, so they could have said, while these guys jump off, we need somebody to distract. And there was no distraction at all. They had one guy down on the bottom, and he was already knocked. So while they were jumping down, all the Russian guns were just pointed at the mountain.
And the problem for Germany, obviously, is they lost and have twice got a very strong squad at the bridge.
Yes.
Which was effectively 4 people.
Yeah.
A very strong squad lost to Kissick was the man at the back.
Kissick, one of them there.
Kissick, absolutely. He took the people on the riverbank.
Kissick,
and then he got all around the bridge. Yeah, it was just impressive stuff. We're going to get Drainus on in a moment. We're just waiting for him to hook up and get in there. Stop celebrating. He's got to put the vodka bottle down. And,
it's the locker room, the locker room after the game. Woo!
That's it. High five. So, if you've ever been drinking with Russians, which I'm sure you have at some point because you spent time in Kiev, so the Ukrainians pretty similar. Pickle,
want to say that.
Pickle, water, and vodka.
Oh, we just combined it already. It's just a pickle vodka.
Pickle vodka, just get it straight all in one.
Yeah. Or schnapps. They got the what do you call it? The radish. It's like one of the main things. Radish schnapps. Or radish vodka. Yeah.
Swear by it.
If you don't have a hairy chest already, you can take one and it just grows on you.
Yeah, well, it's you got the kick of the vodka, and then also the pickle bit. You're like, Jesus, it's like, cool, blimey, manly man. But but 4-0 for Russia. It means Germany obviously going to be playing the Czech Republic. That'll be tomorrow at 2 p.m. We're not done yet, by the way. We're going to get Drainus on in a moment and give him a speech. Hopefully we can get him on. And also starting in, where are we at? What time are we at? Starting in
2 hours.
2 hours, 15 minutes, we're going to have North America versus Brazil. That will be the America's grand final for the Nations Royale. Best of 7, for that one. And I got to be honest, I'm not really sure how that one's going to go because if you look at the way the duos, the wingman stuff went, South America were dominant.
It is. They are good.
They were strong.
I'm thinking that tomorrow's game between Germany and Czech Republic is going to be good because they're both very.
Yeah.
If you compare it, you have like the aggressive team, like Russia, Turkey, some of these teams, and then you have the more tactical team. And I think that what downfalls is that, as you said, Russia, they punish. Hesitation, mistakes, they punish. I don't feel like Czech Republic do it that much, and I don't feel like Germany do it either. So tomorrow will be a very strategic, who outminds the other team. It's not so much the brute force; it's more who out-strategizes, if that's a word, the opposing team.
Yeah. Yeah, how it outsmarts each other. But,
yeah, exactly. Essentially, yeah.
I mean,
it's going to be good.
Yeah, I actually don't really know. I mean, Czech Republic were very impressive today. It's hard to read because obviously Russia also 3-0'd Czech Republic. You know, Germany just 4-0'd them, so it's very hard to read who's going to come out on top in that one. It's going to be an interesting game to figure out who will be facing Russia in the grand final, which will be, I think, at 6 o'clock, I believe it is.
At some point
tomorrow.
After
I think it's 6 o'clock tomorrow.
I've won PO7 after 2.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have a look at the scores, the final scores. George, Dawes, Melman, and Faultlessly. We were talking about Faultlessly. Kissick, we should also say. Kissick obviously got a lot of knocks. It was what he was doing is setting up the knocks for others to get the kills.
Him and Test were there.
He was doing a lot of the work there.
Yeah.
But Melman at the end, obviously, standing his ground effectively. Wanderer, I'm surprised he didn't get more than 3 kills.
Melman and Tab and Wanderer, they were just there dealing damage all over the place.
The M249 was doing a lot of work there.
Yes, that was an interesting one. And despite that, actually pretty interesting to see that only half the players, it's not even less than half the players, got kills that game.
You know what I've noticed? There's not a Navi player in this.
There's
former Navi players. No Pokemon Ladoy, Bestolosh, Aduzi. Well, Aduzi's not there anymore.
They clearly don't need them.
So, I mean...
There's former Navi players, does that count?
There's lots of former Navi players and former Grubby players and the likes in there, but you could make a whole team out of the former Navi players in there.
Yeah.
But overall, the kills, Kissick, we were singing his praises. Like, he's got 10 kills. I think that could have been like 15. The way the flanking work he did in that final map was just absolutely outstanding. Wanderer, no surprise to see him up there, along with Melman. Obviously, he got 6 in the last game, which is what bounced him right up there. Solid performance. For Germany, Felix, a lot of his kills came in that first matchup, actually. He was the final man flanking on Erangel on the hillside, remember, and tried to get a lot of kills there. But while it was a 4-0, the games were pretty close.
It wasn't a 4-0 in terms of, like, when we say 4, it's like, oh, they smashed them 4-0. There were, I want to say, at least 2 of the 4 games that could have gone either way.
Yeah.
At least 2 of them.
It was definitely close. I mean, you think of the...
Wrangel and Vikendi.
The Vikendi game, the Vikendi game, definitely. If the circle would have gone back over to the east side instead of the west, it would have pulled to them on the compound instead of going into the hillside, which Russia held. So it could have gone either way.
I mean, this one, I mean,
well, this one is the same.
Had the circle shifted, they could literally not have gone up the hill. Like it would have been physically impossible for them to get up the hill. All Germany would have had to do was just take one step in on the rock. But like, I wonder when they dive to blue. There would have been nothing for them to do. So while Germany got the early circles, Russia got the 1 circle they needed.
And really, you can't think much else that Germany could have done in that final game. But
no.
Let's hear from the winning captain. Dranis, I believe, is on the line. You there, buddy?
Oh yeah, hello.
He's there.
You finished your vodka then, and say the pickle. We were just talking about pickles and vodka. That's the Russian way.
Oh yeah, it definitely is the Russian way.
So let's talk tactics overall, because you guys are so damn good at this game. It seems the Russian team. Let's go to Erangel to start with. Obviously, it was the horrible Sosnovka, 32 versus 32. But you guys gained the ground now. We noticed in that very first game, Set sneaking around the back, just how useful was he for information for you guys? Because he single-handedly got 1 single kill and pulled about 6 people away from the main hill to him.
So the thing is that we split up as 8 people, and honestly, I don't even know what Set did. We just, I mean, we looted Pachinkin, went straight to the mill base. We were hoping to, gatekeep on the bridge, but I mean, I don't know. We just go and kill pretty much. There is no specific strat. Like, every team, like every 8 people team, just goes and does something.
And make it work
separately.
So moving on to Vikendi, I mean, that was a pretty straightforward one, I think. You guys just held the hill, and that was a done deal. So I think we can skip past that one pretty much. I think if it had gone east, it would have been interesting if it had gone towards their compound. But because the circle went west to you guys in the hill, you just had a kill line set up. So that's a straightforward. Miramar's the one I want to talk about, because that was honestly, for me, a game that Germany should have won. Firstly, you guys obviously recognized the opportunity of the compound, which actually we were calling the Drainage compound at the point, because it was you and your squad that took it. You obviously saw the opportunity for that. For me, were you surprised that Germany didn't back that up a little bit more than they did?
I think, yeah, it was surprising, but I think they were kind of far away, so there were only like 3 or 4 people. I'm not sure.
No. I mean,
Miramar,
they were very slow moving. You guys got there with, I think you had about 6 to 7 players. They easily could have backed it up with 24 players and didn't. I don't know why.
I mean, the point when we pushed the compound probably was like, I don't know, point of the moment of the game, because if we didn't do that, I don't know, it would have been so hard.
Absolutely. I mean, we thought the same.
Yeah, I was thinking, James. We call them the sheep herders. If you know what we mean by that, the ones that make sure that no one gets away too far. It was Melman, it was Hirosen, and it was that whole team there. Was there a lot of communication between you and them? Because they were always both on Vikendi. They were the ones that came from the north and kind of tried to push the German players further into a corner. And it also worked the same way when they were up on the northern side on Miramar. Was there a lot of communication from you to them on how they pushed them? Or was it more coincidence that it ended up the way that it did?
I mean, these guys like Melman, they're just crazy. They see people, they just go and kill them, pretty much. I mean, our communication is kind of like really simple. Someone just writes in chat, just what they're doing, and that's how communication kind of like.
You write while you play?
I mean, not me, but certain people, yeah.
Oh, they will write to you what they are doing.
I mean, yeah, sometimes
because it's silent.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but not often. But Melman and the friends, they're just crazy.
Because on that, I mean, it seemed like you played out perfectly for us, because they had 8 people in the north. While you were in your compound, you'd taken that compound, they'd swept around the north, and it pulled effectively 2 squads of German teams towards them on the hill. And then you guys pushed the compound, which is effectively ended up in the center compound, that big warehouse. And they left just 8 players there?
I mean, it's just a coincidence, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an impressive goal, because it happened on multiple occasions.
It was perfect.
It was very impressive. You should never have told us. You just, strategy, 100% planned, always coordinated. Because it looked very coordinated.
We said as soon as they pull up there, Drainage just needs to say, okay, like Mailman squad needs to say they've pulled up, okay, go. And it worked out perfectly, because they literally reinforced the north and you guys pushed into the south. It's like you could not have what's the word I'm after? Choreographed it any better than
it was very. It looked very well executed. Now I want to go over to the Sandlock game. Were you was the communication just, guys, they have to come off the mountain sometime? We wait. Was that the plan?
Yeah, in the end, because we saw that we were starting to lose people, and then we just kind of held down there, below the mountain. But initially we tried to push them, but there is no way.
It's difficult. It's very difficult.
I want to give props to Kissick in that final game, by the way. Him and
Test.
It was Test and faultlessly, basically single-handedly took out it's Chris's squad on the bridge. They just he basically kept them at the river. And then came around the back of them on the bridge and just was boom, 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 knocking them down. Wanderer obviously came in and cleaned up.
Very impressive.
Fantastic stuff from them.
One last thing for me, Drain, is now you win 4-0 against Germany. I don't know if you expected to win 4-0. I know the Braxco said they were going to win 4-0, but we talked about it also just before you got on the call here and saying even though it was 4-0, there were still times that it could easily have gone in the way of Germany. What was to you the most difficult thing about fighting Germany, even though, of course, you won the games?
I mean, the first game on Erangel was kind of 50-50, at least it felt like that, because, I mean, we just got lucky on the circle. I think the very first game that kind of gave us
the hills
confidence, I believe.
Yeah,
with the hills. But overall, I think that we have so many talented players, and now it seems like ridiculous amount of pro players. So that's just how it is. They're just good, really good. And the communication is the way we build it is very, very good, because we split that up as 4 teams, 8 people. So, and it works the best. From what we've tried so far, this kind of communication is really paying off.
Makes sense.
And final question, Drenis. You've now played obviously both the Czech Republic and Germany. Who do you feel you're going to be facing in the finals?
I mean, I think against Czech Republic we had the closest games, especially on weekend. It was 3 versus 3 in the end. So I'm kind of, I don't know. I think I'm looking forward to seeing them again.
A little scared, maybe.
Maybe. Well, who knows?
Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see.
We will see.
I mean, Czech Republic is a really strong team, so we're gonna see.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much, Dranis, and best luck in the finals tomorrow. So that is it for us. For now, we're going to be back at midnight European time. That is, I don't know what it is. It's 3 p.m. Pacific. And that will be North America versus Brazil for the Americas final. That's going to be a best of 7 to see who can take the Nations Royale over in Americas. Join us then. That's me and Toby. We'll see you